What is up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to the SAC Season 8 Qualifier. Nope. I knew that was gonna happen. Want me do the intro again, or all right? Take two. But hopefully, you guys can hear us just fine. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the SAC Season 8 Tournament 3. We gotta get that out of the way. Let's be this for certain. If you didn't hear me before, I'm Kyon. Manfi joins me as well. Manfi, once again, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic today. It's been a while since the last time I commentated like for IPL. It's been like since 2021, and I'm actually happy to be back. So this will actually be very exciting to see all these teams that are playing in SAC today. Like this is gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited. I'm excited for this.
I'm super excited to see how all the teams in SAC, especially in this 8th season of SAC, perform today as well. We have ourselves our first matchup coming up here, but for those who are tuning in, this is the 3rd tournament here for this for this tournament series overall. So we got some teams that may have participated in previous tournaments here in Season 8. One of them for sure is Breakdown. Breakdown is going to be the team to keep an eye on, as that will be our first matchup coming up ahead. The roster, of course, with featuring Ultra, Nia, Maxim C, and Onion to boot. I'm going to be excited to see how this team performs after the last tournament where they finished 9th in the gold brackets.
Yeah, that honestly, looking at Breakdown, like they've definitely got some notable results as well. It's like to me, like I haven't really caught up as too much with SAC as much, but hopefully I can be able to catch up like for the whole entire of this SAC because I have been literally a little bit fall behind. But their opponent today is, I hope I don't mispronounce their name, but like their team name, but uh is it Syzygia? I don't know how to
So
say it, but I don't know how to say it.
So the funny thing is, before we went live in the cast, we were trying to figure. So I had to hear the team name as well on my end. I'm like, is it Syzygia, Syzygia, one of those two? I'm sure we're gonna hear. I'm sure people are probably gonna be telling us, okay, this is actually how you pronounce this team. I'm gonna run with Syzygia. They're probably gonna correct me later as well. But yeah, their opponent is Syzygia in this first round of groups, and this is a team actually in Season 8 of SAC that actually has not participated in any of the qualifiers 1 and 2 so far this season. So this is their first go at it. May as well start in the middle of the season, all things considered. So I mean, huge unknown so far. Gonna be excited to see how they perform.
Yeah, absolutely. And when there's like a team that has not really been familiar, especially from like playing from like SAC or like these other tournaments, like you haven't seen these players before, but like they're here, they want to prove themselves as like they want to be at like their very best and then get some good results. Like that's why they're here. And I want to see more of them because like if we get to see like more of these guys throughout these tournaments, I would be really very happy for like most of these. Like maybe we'll see because like I don't know too much about them. We'll see how we get to see how they play the game.
And Syzygia's first go at SAC this season, again from this 3rd season, as you mentioned, gonna be really intrigued to see how they do. They have their roster, of course: Kota, Sila, Renate. I hope I pronounced her name correctly. Jian, KKs, and Frost being the roster for this one. So both teams will be playing on the first round of groups, which has 3 maps to go with, and I believe these will be best of 3s as well. So basically, both teams first to 2 will take this one home. If I'm not mistaken, with the maps today, we're gonna have Inkblot Art Academy Tower Control coming up, and I'm gonna be curious to see how both teams wants to approach that map altogether.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, like Inkblot Tower Control, definitely want to get so much control out of the map as much as you can, because like it's very important to like get their side if you have like to play it really offensive. Like if you already got like 2 members down, it's a really good opportunity to get like start pushing so you can get so much of control of their side. Like that'll at least give some advantages, especially getting rid of those checkpoints is very huge for them. Like whatever the teams decides, like they gotta get through those checkpoints away.
Absolutely, and I've always made this comment in Inkblot Tower Control for sure is a lot of the stuff pretty much happens right around that second checkpoint. That's usually one of the toughest checkpoints to break. But if you're able to take full control of that area and basically win out a few fights, or even just find a few members along the way, then there's going to be a pretty easy way to get to that third one, and that's going to be where, as you mentioned, it's very important to get all those checkpoints as much as possible. If I look at Breakdown, the team as a whole, one of the key things I like to know is that a lot of the members has a lot of flexibility with the weapons that they want to pick. I actually wouldn't be surprised if I do see one of them, which I will not disclose quite yet, but one of them being dished out here because this is a tower control map and it's of course Inkblot. So I would be expecting a blaster possibly from one of these members, but we'll have to wait and see on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I have no clue to mostly all of these members what they play, so like honestly I'm excited if there's like gonna be some spicy picks. Like I don't know, like I would love to see some pencil action if any of these players actually do play it. So like I haven't looked too deep into like their information, but like hopefully once I do know what they actually play, I will definitely kind of read for what they actually have in their weapon pool. But like we'll see, because like blaster would actually be very good here actually, because like you got once you get to like their side, like their whole entire, I don't know, it's like their whole entire court, using a wave breaker like range blaster, or you could use like rapid. Like I would love to see some rapid action actually, because like rapids actually has been a little bit up into the rise. Like if you're playing like an aggressive comp, like I've seen so many like mid-level teams, especially during scrims, like you would see them like bring out like the Rapid Deco Pro. You can see them like the Rapid like Blaster Deco, the one with like Inkjet. I love personally the Inkjet and Torpedo. It's just one of my favorite Rapid Blasters like throughout this entire game, because like, you know, I'm an Inkjet enjoyer, because like Inkjet is just a fun special for me.
I mean, I would love to see if any of these teams one dish on Inkjet. There are a few members in Breakdown that does have that Inkjet in question, and we'll be talking a lot about Breakdown here as they have participated in a previous tournament here. Syzygia, again, one of the huge unknowns to go up against. So this is kind of where your theory of wild picks could be played anywhere for Syzygia. At this case, so I would love to see what Syzygia wants to dish out. Again, we'll get our first taste of what this team will do when they start queuing in for this Inkblot Tower Control map. But I do want to highlight here as well, while we're at this point, yes, you would love to see a pencil. We do know that one member in Breakdown does have the ability to play pencil, but I'm not sure if they want to play that just yet. But wouldn't surprise me given the current state of what weapons are popular today, especially in this current Splatoon meta.
Yeah, absolutely. Like as I mentioned about the pencil, because like I feel like pencil has also been rising up as well, especially like if you're looking at like the backline pool. It's like, yeah, you're gonna see like ballpoint, because you know ballpoint has been far into like this entire meta, because you know there's not a lot of backline weapons that haven't really been up there ever since like, you know, E-Leader died, and then, you know, the Chargers died, and it's like basically ballpoint took over. It's like it takes over the entire meta for like backline, and you know I'm actually like very excited. Like some teams are actually finding another, like if they're like a backline player, it's like they're like starting to pick up pencil. They're starting to pick up like I don't know. Can you really consider Rapid Deco like Pro as a backline? Because like to me, I think so.
Debatable. It really depends on how the team wants to necessarily play that Rapid Blaster Deco as well. It could even be the Pro Deco on top of it. So I mean, I kind of see it more from a mid to back line option. More members will probably want to opt to take it as a midline option if they can. No worries though, we're gonna be queuing right into this one, and if I'm not mistaken, yes, it will be Syzygia on the Bravo side. Alpha side will be your Breakdown members, and I do see some of the weapons. I did note the blaster is gonna be picked out, but it's not on the team I expected. What do you see, Manaphy?
Oh my god, there's actually some surprises pick, especially Syzygia. bringing out the Blobber Deco, which you do not really see the Blobber except for a known player, as I want to point out, Pika, which is not playing, but like Blobber Deco, that's honestly a fun pick right there.
I love to see if they can get so much value out of that Blobber Deco again. It is not a weapon. I don't think I see that often, actually, in most Splatoon play, so it's going to be fascinating to see how they want to dish this one out. Syzygia is going to be the first one onto this first checkpoint there. They're going to be able to get through this one just fine. Now they're just trying to move up with the aggression. The Deco and the Wiper is out of the picture, and that will be two down right on top of this one, and then the rest of the members are all down just like that, not even making it to the second checkpoint. Nice hold by Breakdown, but Syzygia strikes first with 67 points remaining.
Yeah, honestly, good start for Syzygia, but like it wasn't also quite enough for them. So now it's about to be Breakdown's turn to make their push. And 2 members are down of the side of Syzygia, so like this could be the perfect opportunity. As I pointed out before we started this matchup, like taking that entire control of their side is very important. But as soon as I said that, the Wiper was trying to get some picks there, but wasn't able to do that. But Breakdown is getting everything. Like, as you can see right now, strikes are pulled out. All of them right there. Just all of them are just there, you know? And a wipeout. What? Like, you already see them already go into that lead. They're going to get the lead now. So all they have to do is just stall so much time for them, and they could actually just knock out this game.
Yeah, right now they got so much control of Syzygia's territory just with all the pain that's being dished out there. And delayed triple is not going to help Syzygia's defensive matters here. And there's that Nautilus just all the way deep in, no problem whatsoever. It's the 3rd checkpoint and should be the KO here shortly. All that control right there and there. You just got to have to find the way to rush. And the Nautilus is down, but that's not really going to matter too much. And the first map of this group stage goes to Breakdown.
Yeah, that was honestly a great like push for Breakdown. Like, even though they didn't get the first start, but they started to like fight back. They wanted to like say, hello, we're in your side of the base and we are taking so much of the control. And like, you see the Nautilus, like, I don't know if we can get replays from it, but like the Nautilus was getting so many opportunity and picks from them. Like, I don't know if you saw from like that was like crazy. Like, you know, not ideas, like not does what they want. They want to get the kills. They want to take so many picks. It's like they got what they needed, and Breakdown just did everything for like what they are planning to do for that entire game.
As you highlighted the Nautilus there from the previous match, just all the way deep into Syzygia's base and then just completely pressuring them out each time. Syzygia was basically just trying to find ways to just move right in, trying to stop that tower from getting past even the 3rd, I guess even approaching the 3rd checkpoint. But again, these delayed triple and then the Stagger's just trying to rush it and trying to find something to work, and just did not pan out for them. And Breakdown off to a really good start, 1-0. And again, just to reiterate, this is a best of 3, so if Breakdown wins this next one, they'll be taking this set here. But the next map is going to be Humpback Pump Track Rainmaker. Syzygia has struck first in that target control map, Manaphy, and then everything just fell apart right afterwards. So I would like to see their play get cleaned up here in Humpback Pump Track Rainmaker. One thing they got going for them is that it's a very condensed map, and of course it's Rainmaker, so things can be very swingy in a hurry.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I did like Syzygia, what they were going for, but even though they didn't get what they really wanted to do, they needed to, like, if I were Syzygia right now, I would, if you get like 2 picks, or like if you get enough paint control, I think you need to like get as much specials as you can and then use them as widely to make your push. Because like what the comp that they just had, which they had Wiper, they had a Blob, Junior, what else did they had? Like, that's all I remember, because I didn't really focus most of their comp. But like, yeah, as soon as we saw from Syzygia, I knew the Wiper like was going to try to get something in return, but like they just immediately got caught by the members of Breakdown. Just couldn't really find a good value out of it, but hopefully they could do it in game 2.
And you highlighted the Wiper there. Just the flank with the hammer, just not able to find anybody from that was a near pivotal moment there for Syzygia, as Breakdown was able to just run them over in this case. Now we get to see how this next map pans out. Again, Breakdown on Alpha side, on this greenish color, and then we got Syzygia so donning the purple there. Some big changes overall, but the blob is still the constant for Syzygia so far.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't mind it because, if it's a comfort fit for them, then, they got it. And Syzygia got the first pop. Let's see what they do because, I want to see so more out of these guys. They done so much, especially from game 1, but just couldn't do it. But, as soon as I said that is a wipeout, and Breakdown is already going to get through the first checkpoint. This is a commentator's curse.
You had to speak word the minute they occur, and again, Syzygia is caught stuck here. They already lose 2. Breakdown is just right over them. This Syzygia
They're just running it down
right now, and they're just trying to push their way right in. There's Renee and THB trying to find their way. Then all they gotta do is get this Rainmaker out of here, or at least force the reset. They pick up this Rainmaker, keeping it near their area. Now taking the Ink Rail. Now they should be able to drop down and reset it just nicely. It's 24 points remaining here. Manaphy Breakdown with a stellar push about less than a minute in.
Yeah, that is honestly a good push for Breakdown, but Syzygia just never give up right there. They stopped their push, and they were trying to use their specials to get Breakdown members away from their base. And you already see the Inkjet already pulled out by the members of Breakdown, but couldn't get a value as soon as they go down. They got the Rainmaker. Syzygia is now going to make their push. They're going to get the first checkpoint first. So now it's every other checkpoint's already get caught. So it's the 3 members down already. It's everything just happened so fast. And look at the comp. Everybody is playing super aggressive. Wait a second. Okay, for a second there, I thought that was a V Carbon for a second, but that's a Carbon Deco.
No, the Carbon Deco makes a lot more sense there. They got the double Trizuka comp there with the Inkjet and Cooler. So you got triple 2 Trizukas and everything else. Not really gonna matter too much though. Breakdown's just gonna wipe you out just like that. Second wipeout of the game for Breakdown now. And now we're gonna get to see this Rainmaker get pushed up. With that push up ahead, now Breakdown's just gonna try to pressure them out the entire time. Syzygia is just all grouped up, but they're at least able to dodge the shots right away. C's just trying to poke from distance, but they lose 2 right away there. They're trying to push themselves up. The Zip Caster we just saw flying across the street, trying to get to this Rainmaker. That Rainmaker does finally go down. Renette is just trying to find anybody else, and I think that should be enough of a stop unless they lose more. They stuck it through, down to 7 points. Ultra trying to slam that one home from a sneak attack, and that Rainmaker is stalled right now. Breakdown loses 2. Push should be stalled here now.
Oh my god, I like how Ultra Yeats was trying to go for that play, almost did it, but wow, that honestly, I love how they were doing. They're trying to make it knock out this game, but Syzygia says, nope, we want to keep this game going. It's not over until it's over, and look at the members down. They got the V shot, so they have to get so many members down. As soon as I said that, that is another wipeout by Breakdown. What is happening?
3 wipeouts on the board, and the Trizuka already finding one. Now you're gonna get to see Syzygia kind of just staggering in, just trying to find their way through at this stage. C and the rest of the crew just trying to find more. They get 3 down. We are going to be seeing another wipeout, and the Trizuka painting from distance, sealing the deal. Breakdown wins this one 2-0, and that was basically Breakdown winning it on the back of multiple wipeouts.
Breakdown just was very clean with their pushes and make it really offensive. Especially, you did highlight about the Carbon pick, because I actually am a big fan of the Carbon pick that they did, because Carbon is actually a really good, and both sides I also want to highlight. Both of them were using Tri-Slosher, but one was using Nova Tri-Slosher and one was using Vanilla, which, again, that's very fun because, I've never really seen too much of the Vanilla Tri-Slosher, but I see where they were going with. They want to stick with the Inkjet special, which I have highly respect, of course, and so much of, they got so much value. They got all their specials for their push, strikes, Inkjet, they had everything. Breakdown just took so much control, and Syzygia, I love how they were also playing too. Even they had a great stop for their defense. I love their defense. They were doing so much of their best, not giving up, but it just wasn't enough for them to keep the game going from them.
I get the sense that Breakdown really wants to start this one off strong and hopefully get a better standing than 9th in gold brackets in the previous tournament. They are looking really good so far, taking this one 2-0 in this first round. And again, a lot of highlights there. Once Breakdown started getting wipeouts after wipeouts, you kind of got the sense it was kind of a slow march to KO. It's just a matter of how we get there at that point. Syzygia, as you mentioned, they held their ground really well in defense. Just wasn't enough, but by the end of it, you get to see Breakdown just able to take full advantage of just punishing the rest of Syzygia's members, trying to fight their way through. And by the time it was all said and done, Breakdown's just like, no, we're just gonna get multiple wipeouts out of you. I think I counted at least 5 on that match alone, and Breakdown's just starting this one off strong with a 2-0.
Yeah, they indeed started off this entire, like, this first game, especially this first game we are commentating. Like, they are starting off strong, like, as you highlighted that, and they want to at least not get, like, the result that they want for the same. They want to get more to be a higher result. But as for that, though, because, like, I also want to highlight also I think it was like during in game 1. I also did like the charger pick, which was I still call it Firefin. Do you call it Firefin or do you call it ZF?
I call it ZF here.
Oh, okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I still call it Firefin for the most of it because, you know, it's just me. But yeah, the wall and they got the strikes. Like, I didn't know they were actually running a double strike because, like, I always had to look back at so much of, like, their entire comp and, like, what specials are they using for their values. Like, Breakdown, like, as I wanted to highlight, Breakdown just use all of their specials, like, very, very, like lightly clean. Like, it was, I wouldn't say lightly, but it's like very clean. Like, they are using it to, like, play aggressive. Like, you already seen so much of, like, Breakdown already, like, at the first start of, like, this entire tournament. Like, they started out very strong. All of their entire, like, individually, they were doing all of it. They were using their specials. They were throwing at the members of Syzygia and then just said, yes, we want to just, like, make this as, like, we want to be a strong team.
Absolutely, and Breakdown just played that one to perfection, as you've alluded to before. Syzygia still has 2 more opportunities to go before their fate has been figured out. But definitely they're gonna have to. They got a huge hole to climb out of. But hey, you got the taste of SAC. Let's see how the other team performs. And Breakdown looking to continue their momentum here. And again, for a team that ultimately has not participated in SAC before, they still look pretty good. So I mean, again, carrying off of that momentum from the second tournament. Again, early elimination goal. Maybe they're gonna look for a better spot later on. We're actually gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead here, Manfi, and say we're just gonna give ourselves a quick break, get people warmed up here at this point. So when we come back, we'll get the second round ready to go. So stay tuned. You do not want to miss a thing. Welcome back, everybody, to SAC Season 8, Tournament 3, or part of the Splatoon Advanced Circuits of Season 8. Once again, I'm Kyon. Manaphy once again is back with me. We got ourselves our second round matchup here between Half-Life and Sub Power-Up. I think, Manaphy, while we were on the break, Manaphy, when we heard this matchup, I think this will be a very exciting one to watch the entire way through.
Honestly, yeah, like I'm actually very excited for this matchup only because Sub Power Up is like a well-known team, especially Magic. If you don't know who he is, Mizu, another player, has been recognized as well. Like these players, I've also played against them in Ludi from like last season. Like they're like a team that can create comps that just like, you know, in their own creative ways. It's like I remember that they were running a vanilla Dapple Dualies and a vanilla tent last year, and it was like the fun comp, double beacon comp. Like, let's make it work.
Yeah, you gotta love the craziness that Sub Power Up can do at any given moment. Once again, for those who are tuning in, Sub Power Up's first go, I believe, here in SAC Season 8. So I'm gonna speak here, see how they perform. They're up against Half-Life. Just earlier today from round 1, they got a 2-0 against their one of their opponents here. Just giving myself some time to remember. Yep, from la 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 la. So they will be entering this second stage 1-0, and I'm gonna be curious to see how this team performs. They finished 3rd in silver in tournament 2, and they got a variety of many different weapons to deal with. Gonna be excited how they perform as we got our first map already here on screen. Barnacle in Time Splat Zones, which, if I'm not mistaken, for Half-Life, very excited to look very excited, excuse me, about any zones map that they got ahead. So I'm gonna be excited to see how both teams deal with this.
Yeah, absolutely. I only know one member of the side of Half-Life, and I believe it's correct me if I'm wrong, it's Ezio. Is like, I remember I did interact with them some parts of time, but like I'm excited to see them play like in this tournament against Sub Power Up. Like Sub Power Up is like a team that's very flexible, so like that's gonna be very excited to see what they play. And there I call it out. One's playing the tent umbrella.
I'm having okay, but well, here's the constant that we have for both teams: 2 Trizukas and a cooler. On the side of Half-Life, a V-Shot, a Carbon Roller Deco, and the N-Zap to round the 2 Trizuka and cooler respectively. The other side is a Sorella Tent Umbrella, the Hero Shot replica, which may as well be a V-Shot, and the N-Zap for their setup. Gonna be curious to see which team can execute more, as we do see the trade of zones right away. One member is just striking there. Mizuno's just trying to fight from distance. We do see 2 down, make that a delayed triple. Half-Life will retain the zone with a delayed wipeout. Now the full wipeout on top of it.
Yeah, really great play from the Half-Life there. Like, I see what they were going. Like, the Carbon was just really ready to like get up to their face when they got one member down. Make it 2, make it 3, they got it all they need. So now, for the side of Sub Power Up, as soon as I said that, now Sub Power Up is getting an opportunity to actually push, but they also got 2 members down. The Gay Sickle is now going to be able to have their Zuka ready. They have a shield. Hopefully they can actually, they're going to jump actually now. So here's the moment. They have to make their push now because they're running out of time.
Carbon Roller Deco going down is going to help matter, so they get 2 out of the picture. That's 2 down. That's going to be huge. Asterum just popping out. That Inkjet, they should be able to flip control here unless Half-Life is able to contest nicely, as they do take out 1 right away there. It's a little bit of a huge skirmish across the board. I do see members from Half-Life going down, but a lot of members from Sub Power Up going down on top of this. It is do or die, and it is going to be the zone flip. Huge zone flip too. It gives Sub Power Up time to work with, but they take out 3, a double out of the knowledge from I see ya, and that will be Half-Life getting the zones back, but they got to get through these penalty points.
Oh wow, what a great play! Like, Sub Power Up it so much. They used all of their weapons to like stop like the push there, and they got the penalty that they need. Now they have more time. As soon as I said that 2 members do go down, now for Half-Life, they need to create and be very aggressive and use all their specials as much as they can to like stopping from Sub-Power from doing what they need to do.
And Sub Power Up is just quickly dropping one by one. Half-Life is having a stranglehold of this Barnacle Dime Zones map. We mentioned earlier before, Half-Life is very excited to play any Zones map they can work with, and it definitely showed here, Manaphy. Half-Life takes this first map of this set, and we move on to the second one with Half-Life up 1-0.
Yeah, what a great advantage for Half-Life. They had so much of the entire map of the control, as you can see, like at the map right there. Like, they had so much control. They got like everything from them. Their base is taken, the zone is taken, mid control, everything was just taken from Sub Power Up, and Half-Life just took everything from them.
Once Half-Life got any control of that zone and got Sub Power Up out of there with the first wipeout, they had kept that stranglehold going. And yeah, some of them may have been overextending just a tiny bit, but at most we were losing 200 delayed double. Yes, Sub Power Up at one point gets the zones back. They're trying to make. I see what they're trying to do with the Sorella Tentabella, trying to get everybody else set up and work behind the shield. It just didn't work out. Half-Life was just again all over it, just flanking Sub Power Up from behind the entire way through, and that is just how that map ends, Manaphy. I think this is just a great testament to how Half-Life is playing so far. And again, they want to see if they can get to gold, and that's a good start for them so far.
It is indeed a really good start for Half-Life. Like, as you highlighted, like this is like their second time Half-Life has already played in SAC this season, and I believe I think during break we pointed out that they got third in silver bracket from like the second one. So yeah, they did get second, and now they want to get a better result this time. So in that, they're doing it again today against Sub Power Up, which I believe Sub Power Up is Div 4 this season. I'm not sure. I have to make sure I'm correct on that information. But yeah, like I said, I think Half-Life has the potential to like get what they need, like especially like that's not what the result that they wanted from the second one. Hopefully today will be the day for them, especially this game.
Yep, and Sub Power Up, they have to win the next two. Losing this one means the end of this round for them. And I also want to highlight here, Sub Power Ups, this is their first set they're playing today, and that's a very rough start to go. They move on to this one. Again, double Syzygia and Cooler being the constant, but it's a little bit of a change for Sub Power Ups, and instead of the Sorella Tentabella, it's a Squeezer this time.
I love the Squeezer pick, and especially from like top level play has been picking up the Squeezer. Especially you got the wall, and then you got the Zuka, and I know, yeah, Zuka is like the one special that's like where everyone's using today, and as I pointed it out, but like Squeezer is like another pick that I always wanted to. But look at all the members down. We already see like Half-Life already taking some members down, but turning back, Sub Power Up, Astrum is taking at least one pick out of down. I'm so Sia. Yeah, Sia. I'm so sorry if I pronounce your name. I do apologize. But yeah, look at them again. Like they're getting so much value. They got one picks, and that picks after picks. They got everything that they want. So now they got to make this push right now.
Yeah, and still early in the match, but this will be the lead change right away up to the first checkpoint. Rexy already deep into Sub Power Up's base. The zap has gone down from Sub Power Up's end there. They get a trade, but that's going to be 2 down on Sub Power Up's end, and now Koreki and Gaisicle still stuck in the back, and Half-Life has asserted a lot of control of their base at this point in time. Syzygia just trying to find anybody right now. Still playing it this one very, very safe. The cooler's been dished out from Mizuno. We see Rexy and Half-Life trying to fight through. 2-for-2 trade, but the ballpoint is the only one alive off the back of a double there from Half-Life, and that will be the tower still being written down. That push could have been stopped, but the trade there was huge.
Yeah, that is very huge for Half-Life there. Like all of this aggression, Half-Life is getting everything that they want to create the push, even getting the jumps for their teammates when they're down, and like this is still very neutral from like we're seeing here. Like, you know, Sub Power Up is still trying to like put up to their best. Like they're not giving up just yet. Okay, they popped Cooler, and now they have an Inkjet, so now they need to start using their specials now if they want to like start making their push now. But the Carbon though is flanking though.
Watch the Carbon, but they found him, but they could not punish him. It will be at least a trade, but they lose the ball point from the back of it. There are 2 specials up right now from Sub Power-Up's end if they want to take advantage of it. They got an Inkjet, they got the Trizuka. Koreki pops the Trizuka right away. They get 2 off the Trizuka. Very well played from Koreki. And there, again, 2 more specials being dished out there. The cooler has to come out right now. They take, as we see the Carbon Roller taking out 1 out of the picture. Asterum is down on top of it. A delayed, no, a full wipeout. Rather, not delayed this time. Half-Life stops the Sub Power-Up push.
That was honestly the craziest fight I've ever seen right there. Like, jumping back into the, like, during mid of the, like, that entire match, like, just a pick after pick right there. Like, this was, like, a crazy fight, like, team fight we're seeing from both of these sides.
Yeah, the team fight is just gonna be very crazy. A lot of trading back and forth, but at this point, you have to figure out which team will get the most out of their advantages there. Both teams very equaled out comp-wise in terms of range, and aggression. It's almost gonna be equaled out there with both teams dishing out the zap and pretty much farming out those coolers as much as they can. Both Half-Life wants to continue playing fast. They take 3 out of the picture from Sub Power-Up's end. Syzygia is on tower riding duties here, and we do get to see, well, again, Half-Life. It's the same script, just trying to pressure out Sub Power-Up from being able to move up ahead. I need to see if the painting and the Trizuka can find value right now. Raining Trizukas from Half-Life, trying to see if they can find any value. Not quite yet. The Trizuka did find one, and the second goes out, and everybody from Sub Power-Up is down right away. Half-Life is on to the second checkpoint, and maybe the KO coming up.
Yeah, Sub Power-Up's being pressured right now. Sub Power-Up needs to do something if they gotta keep this game going, but that is not going to happen. Half-Life did all of that to get all this map control and punishing Sub Power-Up from, like, trying to, like, get everything that they want. So Sub Power-Up did have an opportunity, but just couldn't do it at the end there.
Literally a difference of finding 2 down at crucial moments. The Trizuka from Half-Life finding so much value, taking out 1 or 2 out of the picture each go round. Half-Life just basically took Sub Power-Up's base and just pretended that it didn't exist for them. The entire map was theirs, and we saw that from the first map. Zones was pretty much full control of Sub Power-Up's territory there, and Sub Power-Up needed to find any sort of picks to basically swing that the other direction. It was the same scenario here. Once Half-Life took out Sub Power-Up from a huge fight overall, Half-Life just decided, you know what, we're gonna take their base with us, and you can't do anything to stop us unless you happen to do so. They did put a stop into Half-Life once, but Sub Power-Up never really got any momentum off of it, and that is how Half-Life is up 2-0. It's a great set overall for Half-Life.
Yeah, that is a really good start for Half-Life now, and I want to give a lot of credit to Sub Power-Up of how much they tried, and especially I love the 10th pick, by the way. Like, they did not get the value that they needed as much, but, like, the 10th pick is still something that I wanted to highlight because Geisicle is actually very comfortable on the 10th, like on the 10th Brella, so that's like their comfort picks, but it just didn't really work today for them. So I want to see more out of Sub Power-Up because I know this is a team that can be very creative of, like, their own ideas. Like, again, this is a team that I know that can make so much of creative and make all this flexibility of their entire comps. And also, I do want to also highlight about Half-Life as well, like the Carbon pick, because, like, the Carbon just gets so much, like, picks and picks and picks, just, like, from game 1 and game 2, just, like, they just got everything from them, like, out of Sub Power-Up just getting picked off by the Carbon. Carbon just did everything to just get so much of that valuable, like, right there.
You pretty much made a good point there with that Carbon pick from Half-Life overall. There, they basically just found so many entrances towards Sub Power-Up's end. But more often than not, you'll just see that Carbon on a flank. Words that anybody facing off against a Carbon is just gonna be scared to hear. And again, they just made that work each go round, and I mean, it's just well played overall from the Carbon that basically just got so much value. And again, the Trizuka was just doing great. It was excellent play from Half-Life overall that just made it happen. But again, I want to highlight here with Half-Life, they're 2-0 in the set so far. Sub Power-Up's first game ends in a loss, so they got one more round to make it work. Manaphy, but there's something you wanted to bring up here.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I want to highlight for the there's actually going to be a land in Boston. So if you're able to go into this land, it's called New England Splatoon. This is going to be the land. There's all the information, like you can like through Discord, Twitter, and then there's also Start GG. You can also look at that as well. All the information is there if you're really interested in participating, or you could just be able to watch, the land itself, because, going to Splatoon lands is always a fun opportunity to like go to, because like I know I have a lot of fun experience in lands in general, like, and if you want to go to a land and if you're so much of your free time, this is your opportunity. November 5th in 2023 at 2 p.m. Like, this is the land if you really want to go, like, either watch or you want to play. This is a fun opportunity if you really want to go to it.
Yep, and just to clarify for those for this information we got coming up here, competitor badges are $20 or $15 if you are a student, so students have an opportunity to do so. Children under 16 must be accompanied by an adult. New England Splatoon is so excited to see you there and show New England what the Splatoon community is all about. You can hang out on their Discord, dsc.gg/NE Splatoon, if you want to hear more about this event here at New Inkland. And I was just in a land last month. It was a lot of fun to just that atmosphere alone was just incredible to see there. But real quickly, Manaphy, Manaphy, after that, I think we're gonna go ahead and just give ourselves a quick break here. Probably won't be too long. But when we come back, the third round should be ready in just a moment.
Hello and welcome back to SAC number 3. Like, we actually did a really good for me and Kyun. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. But yeah, we actually really had a good over 10 minutes of break. But let's get that out of the way. We actually have a really fun matchup where what I'm seeing looking at this roster, it's Demolition versus Mutiny. And I am very familiar with Rop, a familiar face, like, because I played with them in the past, like a really good Charger player. Like, I'm actually happy to see them here in their very first tournament here in SIC. So like, this is the first, like, they played here and with a team. And for the side of Demolition, I also see Apple and Spleef, another really good like potential of like mid-level players that are trying to climb up to the top there as well. Like, what are you thinking here, Kyun? Like, both of these teams are really great at their own level.
I'm really excited to see how these two teams get the duel here in round 3. Demolition very fresh off of a round 2 set for the ages. We get to see them in action for this one. I'm gonna some quick profiles here for Demolition before we queue up the maps here. Demolition actually just formed just earlier this month, actually around 24 days ago, to be exact. So this team is very fresh here in SAC, but they did participate in the second tournament with not bad results actually. Second in silver was their second qualifier. So looking to see if they can get a better record. They did. Their current stance right now, if I'm not mistaken, is a 1-1 record so far in their group. So they're looking to see if they can snatch a win and see how they qualify. On the other side, Mutiny gonna be again first SAC. Gonna be excited to see how this team plays out. I hope you're excited as much as I am for this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I also want to highlight for the side of Demolition, yeah, they did play and they got second. And as far as, because like we had to wait for their set because a little bit delay because they were also playing their set against Persistence. Sadly, they did lose that game, which was 1-2. So now hopefully they can get some back into their own power again against Mutiny. And I also want to highlight as well for the side of their, like, was it? Yeah, it was Demolition. Like, they also have a lot of good potential players, which I also recognize as well. And we're going to be starting off. Also, I want to highlight too, Mako Mart on Clambless. This is a map that I pointed out a little bit because, like, I remember of my memories when I played this years ago. Like, how do you actually feel about this? Because, like, this is honestly one of, like, this is a map for Clamblitz. Like, this could be a clutch play, and I want to kind of really see it here.
Let's put it this way for Mako Clams. It is very it's a very condensed map with a very short pathway through. For me personally, it's solo queue nightmares because I have lost way too many games in Mako Clams at the final moments. But again, it alludes to your point. This could be one of those maps where one of these scenes could be very clutch at the tail end of it. It's also Clams, so I'm kind of expecting maybe a few weapon choices, which I will be waiting to see what they dish out. Again, Demolition has a few members that are very flexible. Gonna be curious to see how this all pans out here in Mako Clams. I'm very mixed on this one, at least from a personal perspective, but I like that it's being played here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, you could actually make any kind of creative like comps that you really want here, because like I feel like there's no bad choices as long as like you can play it, especially if you're going with comfort. Like, most of these teams, like, especially for Demolition, can be flexible. And for the side of Mutiny, because, like, I know this is probably going to be, like, between Charger, like, a Charger and Charger, because I know Apple's a Charger player, and same with Rob as well. So it's like, if they're going to bring it out today, then this is, like, their moment, if who's, like, going to be the better Charger. Either my teammate Rob, or I know Apple would also be another good potential. But yeah, like, looking at that, it's like, both of these teams are very flexible, so I'm actually really excited to see like how well they perform here in Game 1.
Oh, definitely. And while we're saying the stage here for this one, Mutiny has yet to actually win a set. So I think they're effectively playing spoiler here in the group. Demolition can still go 2-1 if they are to win this set here. But again, the best of three, so they got to win first to two is gonna win this one. I need to see how Demolition recovers from that long set against Persistence in the previous round. It'll probably give themselves some time to just start thinking through. It's like, okay, we can still make it through. We just gotta win. We gotta win this upcoming set here against Mutiny. And if you're gonna start off on the right foot, you may as well try to start by winning this first map here in Mako Clams, because that'll mean a lot. Necessarily, you don't necessarily want to be behind. You don't want to lose that first map, and then have to win the next two each go round. So each map is gonna matter the most. I'm gonna be curious to see how Demolition is gonna try to recover from this one. Mutiny, of course, their goal is to just be on the board. And I'm gonna be excited to see how both these teams dish it out.
Absolutely. Like, both of these teams are just trying at their best to just at least get a good result. Like I said, like you pointed out, Mutiny has yet to win a set in this tournament, so hopefully they can do that today against Demolition. Like, there's still some potential in them, and I still believe. And for the side of Demolition, they could definitely redeem themselves, especially from their loss against Persistence, because I could probably tell it was a very close set, especially we were on break as well, Keon. It's like, it was going to be like a longer one, because like it took so long for us to like, we actually had a good break. We could take so much time, as much as we can, but like now for the side of Demolition, they need to do this to like in this game if they want to redeem themselves after that loss against Persistence, because I could probably tell it was a very close set between those teams, and now Demolition needs to do it here today against Mutiny.
Oh yeah, for sure. Either team basically just wanted to start this set off strong, and looks like both teams are still trying to get themselves all situated here. But while we are waiting, I know you've mentioned Mako Clams being a very interesting map combination. I looked at Mako Clams, and there's a few things that I remember from this particular map mode all around. Well, we'll get to that story, I guess, in a future time, because both teams have loaded in, trying to cut off my little monologue there, as we do see teams have queued in. I'm gonna be curious to see what the weapons are, and actually, okay, I actually liked a lot of these choices. What do you see, Manaphy?
I see two double Zipcaster on the side of Demolition. That is very interesting. You actually don't see a double Zipcaster, which is a brush and a stamper, which I feel like that's very common for a Zipcaster for like on the side. So stamper, and then you got the brush, and look at this, already one member down. I believe that's, I can't tell because it's in different colors, but there's already the basket's already like open, so like very push. So let's see how they do it here.
Yeah, Demolition, by the way, in the light blue. Pink colored side is Mutiny to get this one started. It's going to be 1+1 right away for Demolition to get this one going. Not a bad start whatsoever, though we do see two power clams from Mutiny's side. Eevee was just waiting, playing very patiently with that stamper. Not able to land some of these shots. They don't need to land them too much, though, down. As the rest of the team, as yes, it's 3 down. Torpedo does take out 2 by the end of it. A little bit of a brawl there, but all that being said and done, everything stalls out at this point.
Yeah, like, honestly, like a really good push from the side of Demolition. Now they're opening the basket again, so hopefully they can throw some more clams. Like, this is going to be a little bit hard for Mutiny now, so like if stop Demolition from like all this push there. So now they actually are gonna do that. So Rop here on the ball point here, trying to put so much pressure now. Now Rop is holding up their Inkjet until they find the really good opening. Now they're gonna use it right now, so like that's pretty good. And now the Zipcaster gonna go for this Inkjet there, but the Zipcaster is not gonna find any value. Eevee tried to find a pick there, but just could not find it. Here we go again. Eevee trying to at least find some kind of pick here, but they're able to go down though by this Wiper. Really good plays and good defense by the side of Mutiny.
Yeah, Mutiny's definitely holding on just nicely, not giving Demolition a chance at a third push as we speak. And yeah, both teams, actually, if I look very closely at both these teams, painting-wise there, I would give a little bit of an advantage to Mutiny, but not by much. So but Mutiny will need to take advantage of trying to get as much ground as they can, but they can't do that if they're going to lose members here. Delayed double for Demolition, so they may be able to take some clams advantage as much as they can. And now things are starting to stagger a bit there for Mutiny. A little bit of a trade. There's that one power clam picked up by Eevee, cashing it in. But where is the follow-up? The follow-up is going to be stuck behind. So what we should be seeing here is, yes, the pity clam will be picked up to spawn the second one, and Mutiny will look to make a big play. Demolition only cashes in on the one power clam.
Yeah, really, like, this is really great defense by Mutiny, trying to not let any of the members Demolition score any more clams. Like, that was still going to be huge, but Spleef here, trying to getting another one, but oh, okay, for a second there I thought it was a miss, but it was a little bit delayed. But now, Spleef trying to get their cooler here, trying to like find some specials here, but there's 3, make it 2, 3 members down on the side of Demolition, so it's only Spleef left alive. So remaining of 30, still not bad for Demolition's lead, so anything could really happen here, especially in Magomart clams.
I mean, if you're Mutiny right now, you just need to find the fights and just get all your specials on board. They've been trying to cook up a lot of these multiple power clamp scenarios to see if they can win the fight. But the key thing they need to do is get as much control as they can. Demolition is gonna say no to their efforts as they take out 3 right away. The cooler's been dished out. Where is the power clamp as the delayed wipeout does come in here already? He's going to use that Stamper just now as the Stamper is just trying to find a value. EV pops, Zipcaster, able to go right deep into their base. The barrier's already been broken, by the way. That is how much pressure they've had so far there, as Mutiny is just kind of scrambling around trying to stop the onslaught of Demolition members. They get a few clams right at the nick of time, keeping this basket alive. It's 24 points remaining here. Manaphy, Demolition is just taking everything from Mutiny's side and it's just running them over one by one, and they're still doing just that. It's 15 points remaining. The follow-up just clutch a few more small clams, but no more left on the tank. Demolition takes it down to 9 points. Mutiny needs a miracle.
It is a really fantastic play from the side of Demolition here. Now, what is Mutiny's response here? Because they need to get all the power clams and all the clams that they need if they make the push, but they're using all their specials like the Inkjet and the Crab to get some value, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade on the side. But as soon as I said that, it's only just Rop left alive now. 20 seconds is remaining now. I don't know how I could see Mutiny try to make this push here because so much of power of aggression from the side of Demolition. But here he goes, Spleef on the zap, trying to get him to stay on the left. He needs one more clam to open the basket. Hopefully one member can at least pass a clam to them and try to finish this game. It's gonna be overtime now, so who's gonna open up the basket, but that's 2 members down on the side of Mutiny, who opened the basket first, and it's actually Demolition taking that first game of this set 1-0.
Yeah, Demolition just pretty much had total control from minute 1. Mutiny trying to set up with multiple power clams in tow, but they just could not get any sort of control past mid and any sort of control around the stack per se. As Demolition, as I love the coordinated poses here in the victory screen, always fun to see. There as Mutiny, I like what Mutiny was trying to do on paper, get as many power clams as they can, and then force a big push. And Demolition pretty much knew the assignment, and their goal was stop them at all costs and build upon that. Mutiny just could not win any fights around mid and Demolition stack area, and at that point in time, Demolition was just not allowing Mutiny to get a chance whatsoever. And that's how Demolition wins the first map.
Yeah, absolutely. The brush player and then the Stamper, Eevee, just had so much value to be up and to the front and getting all of those picks, and every single member taking down all the members of the side of Mutiny. And it's they even had all the clams. They also had the power clam to even create that one push to get to remaining 9. But I still want to give some credit to Mutiny for their defense, because they were not holding back. They were trying as much as they can in their own power to stop from knocking out this entire game and making it to 5 minutes this whole set. But great defense by the side of Mutiny though.
Mutiny definitely gave it their all in some crucial moments there, but then yeah, pretty much the entire window just pretty much just broke wide open, and then Demolition just pretty much took their lunch money with them, and that's pretty much how that first map went. Once that final push happened, it was pretty much game over for Mutiny. I want to look ahead to, oh goodness, I am reading this map mode correctly. It's Mahi Mahi zones, probably the best mode honestly for Mahi Mahi in the ranked maps here. And especially with the Mahi Mahi redesign, I think that happened just about a week and a half ago. Gonna be excited to see, and excited is an understatement, Manaphy, how both these teams approach this particular zones map.
I have honestly no clue, because Mahi Mahi is not a map you haven't really seen as much in tournaments, but you probably have seen it in Ludi or maybe some other smaller organization tournaments. But since that they made the little bit of a change into the map, especially like you pointed out, like I think Splat Zones would actually be a good potential. I feel like also Clans would also be another good potential as well. Maybe Rainmaker as well. But I know Tower could be like a little bit of something because like there's still some things that I like, pros and cons I didn't like about the Tower Mahi Mahi, but like we're not talking about that. But Splat Zones, Mahi Mahi, I feel like I have no clue what any of these teams are gonna run with because like I just haven't really gotten so much information on how they're gonna play out this map like by itself. So it's like so much that you could really do. It's all the pressure that both of these teams need to make, especially from game one. Kyon, like Demolition put a lot of pressure on Mutiny from like the entire game in game one, and now let's see if Rob has a response.
Yeah, I think it's almost effectively similar-ish, if not the same. Actually, no, the one change is the Octobrush Nouveau, by the way, on Demolition's end. Demolition on the yellow side, Mutiny on purple. So a flex on the different Octobrush, just the Inkstorm and the Beacons, if I'm not mistaken. So a little bit more supporting for the Octobrush. Mutiny's just gonna ignore that change, and get zones until they lose 3. Demolition gets the zones back to start.
Absolutely, and I actually do like the Octobrush Novel pick, especially it's like a safer pick, especially if you're using the rain to use it on zones to get a little bit of paint. And you know they are like doing just that, and like as you saw, like all members of Mutiny go down. Well, I was like, okay, the crab is just like sitting right there, like what are you doing right there, Sweep said, and just took them out. And the water level is now dropping. Look at all this pressure what Demolition is doing. They are angry. They are angry that they lost to Persistence, and they're doing it to Mutiny, like how angry they are, and they want to win this set.
And what a time to do it. Other than now, Mutiny just cannot get out of base and go for the contest. It's 25 push remain. Effectively one last push available. They lose 2 members, the ballpoint and the shot,
it is so
going
hard.
down on top of this, and now they don't have enough support left in the tank. They lose the splash on top of the Wipers down on the delayed wipe.
It is going to be
Demolition
so hard.
Makes great work of Mutiny as Demolition wins this one 2-0 in this 3rd round.
Yeah, that was honestly like really brutal for Mutiny to like, they were just finding, like it was so hard for them to like get out of base. Like Demolition just put a lot of pressure to them and just said like, sorry, we want to just like invade your base and then just like take this game too, and then we'll take our win. How angry we really are, because I know we lost to Persistence, and like we look at us of how angry we are, and they did just that.
Bounce back set for Demolition is the best way to phrase that one. You lost the Slogfest on the previous, and now it's your time to say, hey, let's go ahead and make quick work of Mutiny. We just got to get ourselves back on the board. They did very well in that one. Mutiny is unfortunately blanked out in their SAC run here in this 3rd tournament. So there were a lot of bright spots that Mutiny had in Mako Clams. And in the early onset Mahi zones, they get the first cap right away, but then things just completely fell apart. And then Demolition, that was, I think, effectively a lockout. Once Mutiny was just trying to rush in and just get a quick zones contest the other way, Demolition was able to take 1 or 2. No more support left. The zones points were just going to keep ticking down. One last push with about 27 points remaining, and then again they lose the same 2, and then the delayed wipe just pretty much sealed Mutiny's fate. And that's just really how we see Demolition winning that one 2-0. Great bounce back set for Demolition.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you even have the member Spleef and Eevee just putting up so much of aggression that they did, like from game 1 and 2. Like you already seen, especially from like a brutal game 2, Demolition just so much had used all of their power against Mutiny just to like not allow them to get past them, and just like you know that they are angry that they wanted to like take over and then just take that whole entire set from Mutiny. Like you know like how angry they are. But I do love like how like though for all members that they kept all their specials, they used it very wisely, and it's just very, 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 very clean game 2 from the side of Demolition. Very clean game.
Definitely, and Demolition goes 2-0. We won't make it to the 3rd map. There is again a best of 3 for groups. And speaking of groups, that's the conclusion of the group stages. We now move on to brackets where gold and silver will need to get rolled. But we gotta figure out which teams will be seen in gold brackets, and that will happen after the break, as everybody will need to figure out which seeds everybody needs to be at. So when we come back, gold bracket coverage will start then. So you don't want to miss a thing. We'll be right back. Gold bracket coverage begins now. Welcome back, everybody, to SAC Tournament 3, Season 8. Season 8. I'm going to get those words correct in the correct order. I'm Kyon. Manaphy joins me on the mic for this one. Eggshells versus My Like Paradise to start off this gold bracket coverage. And we have ourselves two fascinating teams here, Manaphy. Eggshells Division 3, and then My Like Paradise, a team that has made their name known across the Splatoon landscape.
Yeah, like I'm actually pretty excited because like Eggshell, a team that I am like recognized so well, like they've actually done like very much well to their own like as a team. And actually I did get some information from like staff. Yes, My Like Paradise is Div 4 from what I'm reading as correctly. So yeah, this will actually be a really fun matchup because like I don't know too much about My Like Paradise. So like let's see how I get to see them here from game 1 against Eggshells, because like I know Eggshells is a really good powerhouse team. Like for knowing all the members on Eggshell, like I know I'm very reckoned to like know how they play as a team, like play individually and how they play as a team as well. So it's like this is gonna be a really fun matchup between these two teams.
And you pointed out how Eggshells is a powerhouse team. They have participated in the past two qualifiers. Fourth place gold in the first qualifier. The second qualifier, fifth place gold. Consistent gold team that has made gold brackets. They're back here again, looking to see if they can possibly get better than fourth. My Like Paradise, they get their first taste of gold brackets here this season. To note for the results, first qualifier, second place in silvers. Did not participate in the second qualifier, so now we get to see both these teams go head to head. A lot of ways this can go here, Manaphy, for how these two teams play. But we got our first, and they got some maps to deal with here. First one, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, will be Undertow Spillway Rainmaker to start.
Oh, that's actually a really good way to start, because like I feel like we haven't really commentated as much of Rainmaker, so like this will actually be the first one, especially in the gold bracket as well. So as much as that, I want to also point out for the side of Eggshells, like this is a team that likes to get some picks and then likes to be onto the aggression to like get what they want for as much as control. So like this is a map that's something that's like you can go in many different ways of like how the game really goes as well.
I like to see how both teams approach this Undertow Spillway Rainmaker map. I've seen routes be taken in very interesting directions is the best way to phrase that. So I'd like to see how both teams attack this one. Obviously, the safer route, not obviously, but I'll just say obviously anyway. The safer path is generally the left-hand side. Rightmost checkpoint can be a little bit tricky to navigate through, but if the situation allows, could be the better checkpoint to break through. So a lot of ways both teams want to stylistically go with this one. I actually would not be surprised looking at Eggshells if they try to go for a more aggressive composition here at this point, because I wouldn't be surprised if I see multiple V shots in play, knowing how this team pans out. But I have been surprised before, so I'd like to see what Eggshells dish out. Same with My Like Paradise, which they have a lot of weapons in their arsenal.
Yeah, and especially for like as much as that I don't know much about My Like Paradise, like Eggshells definitely could be very flexible, like what they want to run, especially like any kind of map mode that they're dealing with. So here we are, Rainmaker and Undertow. So like I'm expecting to at least see some Zookas, because like this is a map that can be really good for use on Zooka. So I want to see pretty much of that as far as I see. Yes, I wanted to also point out one thing. BB is a one-trick squeezer player, so like this is something very exciting, and he's running thermal ink. That is very interesting.
I like to note that I see the splatter scope being dished out there from Eggshells. Inkvac has been making a very interesting has been making its surgeons in Rainmaker to boot. So I like to see how this works out. The Luna Blaster Neo or Neo Luna Blaster is the other one I'd like to highlight there from on the side of My Like Paradise.
Ooh.
But before I touch upon this one, Rainmaker's been picked up here from Eggshells. Shots are being fired there from leader. BB trying to set up the area. They're playing very, very patiently. No problem with that one. 8-Jet Horror is out there, and it does take out the Rainmaker holder there, and they do get one out of this one. Yuma's just trying to punish Astral. Astral able to navigate their way out of there before finally going down. This should be the first checkpoint here, and it will.
Yeah, that honestly, those are like a good trade for trade back at the back. Like I like how both of, like the side of My Like Paradise was trying to go for a flank, but it wasn't quite enough. And you already see as I pointed out, Eggshells putting a lot of pressure to My Like Paradise at this first half of like this game.
Yeah, but yeah, Eggshells already just running circles around My Like Paradise, at least to start. I love the patient play that Eggshells had. Try not to rush in too much. Just wait for the setup to be there. Get maybe one member out of the picture from My Like Paradise, and that's how this one resumes on. Rainmaker has been reset, so special wise, the Ultra Stamp just dished out from Acing. Can Acing find anybody else with the Stamp? Stamp?
Ooh.
No, not quite, but throwing the hammer in that direction. My Like Paradise wasting no time. They get the checkpoint. Both checkpoints have been broken. The Inkjet finds one. Inkfact has been popped out there to protect the rest of that team. That Inkjet's gonna have to ignore it for as much as they can. The bomb does take out one. It is a bit of a trade though, and the Inkfact does take out the whole point. Lots of brawling has occurred, but there's Acing. Acing finds one, and there's the lead change. The Stamp has been eliminated. 23 points remaining. Insane brawl has occurred, but My Like Paradise swipes lead to start.
That was a fantastic play from the side of My Like Paradise. And when they got the Rainmaker pop and using that Ultra Stamp for like a skirmishing and distraction, and it gave up so much time for My Like Paradise to at least get the lead there, but still not enough for them to like at least for a good lead there. So like now my Eggshells have a lot of control to this map. Here we go again. Eggshells are trying to make this push now for themselves. They got to make things happen. Strike's already been pulled out from the enemy team. Now a lot of specials already been used already. Inkjet, Astral using the Inkjet, just trying to find some picks and not able to at least get one, especially now. Here they are. It's a 1-for-1 trade now, so like Eggshells have to be careful here if they want to make a lead for themselves. So that's 2 down on the side of Eggshells, but the hammer gets punished and shut down by the side of Eggshells. But no, but the one player got able to get a pick from the Rainmaker, but Eggshells is still holding on for their push.
The Eggshells are definitely still holding on to their push, and they're trying to play this one patiently right now. My Like Paradise are just trying to collapse right in, picking up the Rainmaker a little earlier there, and they do lose 2 right up the way. There is the pop. Will we see the push from Eggshells? They take out 2. Will this be the go button? Yes, it will be. The lead has been swiped yet again, and this will be the path being card out there. They get the pick onto the Rainmaker, but they lose 2 on top of it. My Like Paradise has taken out 2 in that area alone. The Luna Blaster trying to find anything. Can Acing find anybody else? No, not quite. This might be the hold My Like Paradise needed. 3 members of Eggshells all around mid, and at this stage here, yes, it will. Yes, it is now the rest of the team respawning. There is the reset. My Like Paradise lost the lead. They gotta make this one count.
Yeah, and they got a minute left too, so like this was all back and forth from both of these 2 teams. And as I wanted to highlight as well from Eggshells, like they just kept all their pushes together and getting all those jump ins as much as they can, and they did just that and get to a remaining of 13. That is still something that both of these teams can still make things happen still. As soon as I said that, that is 2 members down on the side of Eggshells now, able to find a pick from that Luna Blaster, finding all these picks though. So now they got to make their turn to like start a push, but their Slosher did go down, but Luna is now going to go down as well. As soon as I said that, Commentators curse, that is actually 3 members down on the side of Eggshells. Make that a wipeout on the side of My Like Paradise. So now my Eggshells has to hold on. 10 seconds left. My Like Paradise needs to make things happen if they want to get that Rainmaker for themselves. Yes, they do get it. Inkjet's already been pulled. No! The Inkjet gets canceled by NZAP. Now they got to make this push 3 members down. I don't know if that's going to be good enough for the side of My Like Paradise. Time's running out. Another wipeout. That is going to be game 1 from Eggshells versus My Like Paradise. Eggshells take this game.
Talk about a skirmish that needed to happen at the tail end of that one. The leads change happened at a very crucial one. A minute 10 left in change. My Like Paradise quickly dropping left and right, and you saw Eggshell just running them over around their base. Now My Like Paradise tried to reset themselves up. They held on defense. That was step 1. The second step is to be patient with the Rainmaker, then try to find any value they can get out of Eggshells. You saw Astral trying to make something happen with the Inkjet, but the Inkjet couldn't find anybody else. Right on top top of it, and then things just started to collapse. It's like the Tower of Cards, and then you take one card out and everything fell apart right at the end of it, and that's what happened with My Like Paradise. Everything just crumbled right at the end when the offense needed it most. Eggshells winning that Undertale Spillway Rainmaker in a crazy back and forth, really.
Honestly, yeah, that was honestly, the patience was there from the side of Eggshells. Like, they needed so much time to, like, get their specials and, like, save enough time to, like, get some picks. Like, you already saw, like, the members of Eggshells, like, especially BB, trying to get some picks up into the front there, getting all those picks, and use even that thermal ink. I don't know if it was, like, a really good value, but, like, it gave so much information because, like, BB could just, like, get so much information. If they ever get picked by that squeezer, they know that they're going to call that out, like where they're positioned, especially that ball point from that game. That was just fantastic. But let's move on. We are moving on to Clan Blitz on Museum. But how do you feel about this one, Kyon?
This is a very common clan strat that we get to see across the board. So I'd like to see how both teams dish out there. E-Leader is just staying with their name, of course. Their namesake is here. Tell us what you see so far, Manaphy.
Just like the E-Leader pick, especially from like P-Leader, was another Charger player that's very comfortable, and he gets to I don't know, gets to actually bring it out here today, and I'm actually pretty excited for P-Leader to bring out the E-Leader, wanting to bring out for the longest time now. Today's their day that they want to bring this game. BB, again, wants to keep playing that squeezer because, you know, BB's very comfortable playing that squeezer. That is 3 members down on the My Like Paradise, and now they're going to make their first push from the side of Eggshells, but BB does go down, so 2 members down, and that's going to be almost a full wipeout, but that's only Soko left on the side of My Eggshells, so now this is going to be pretty much a really at least decent start for the side of Eggshells now. So My Like Paradise, you need to make stuff happen if they want to make a force to a game 3.
Yeah, if they're gonna need it, if they're gonna need that game 3 push, it has to start with of course Clams, and then just gain any control that they desperately could. Eggshells is just moving fast. The fast is the name of the game, and we do see this brawl happening on this cooler side, and we do see 2 members going down from My Like Paradise. Eggshells just trying to fire from distance, and it looks like things are just kind of slowing down. There's the inkjet from Astral. Astral is shut down by the squeezer from BB. Now one more clam needed. There's that one lone clam. That will be the push in out of the penalty points early. There's another power clam being cashed in right now. Eggshells down to 47 points remaining. Can they get more out of this? Soko is just working from the corner there. There's the jump. And this hammer overshoots their target, not able to punish out the power clam in tow, and that'll be 21 points remaining. Eggshells want to put a big statement victory here in this set, and they can't get any more, but it's 21 points remaining, a big lead overall for Eggshells.
That was a fantastic push from the side of Eggshells. They needed all of their entire members to be up there, and they had 2 power clams to extend their lead as well. A remaining of 21 is at least a good amount enough to have a good push. And look at them again. They are already making another push for themselves. That is 2 members down on the side of My Like. Crab has already been popped. Now Yuma again standing onto this top of the middle pedestal there. They want to make this push. Now they got to get rid of that penalty if they want to extend much of their lead, or in between it was the knockout. But look at this, Yuma trying to get all those picks all they need. What roller skating, just scoot, just moving up, and look at that.
Oh man,
they just need one more member. What? But no, the deny by My Like Paradise just says nope. You want to knock out this game? Well, we're saying no to you. Now look at us. We're gonna now make our push now. 2, oh my god, 2 is that hurts on the side of My Eggshells, or Eggshells. That hurts.
Eggshells, I think, will be content, though. They weren't able to get the kill, but they got plenty of time, but they cannot afford to throw this lead in the garbage bin there. 65 points remain as the first push is already in. We could be seeing a clam jump here. Yes, it is a little short, though. Nobody in My Like Paradise in position to recover that one, actually, until one does, but it's just shut down right away. They're just camping around this power clam just to make sure this one will not have the opportunity to get cashed in. Yeah, an immediate push, sure, but it's only down to 62 points remaining. They do cut their deficit by 1, and again, Eggshells I think will still be content. Yes, it is a bit of the 2-point meme there, but if they can get another fight that they can win, they can get the KO here. Yuma is able to fire from distance, and that is a wipeout. The rest of the team is on point, and now you just need 1 plus 2 more to secure this one home, or correction, 3 more to secure this one home, and they do just that. Eggshells continue their gold run in another tournament, winning this set 2-0.
Yeah, that was honestly really great set from Eggshells, because like even I want to highlight, especially like they were only two remaining, but it didn't even matter at the end. They were just playing so much better at like their opponents, and just had all of the paint control, the specials that they want. Like they had everything from all of it from like My Like Paradise. They just took it all from them. And like I give credits to My Like Paradise, especially from game 1 as well, because like they never wanted to give up, especially from that one push that they did, but it just wasn't enough from My Like Paradise. Wanted to highlight from My Like Paradise from them.
Yeah, and just quick notes before we hop off here in just a moment here. My Like Paradise back and forth. What was Undertow Spillway? Completely different story. All Eggshells in Museum de Alfonsino Clan Blitz, where they just pretty much took control from minute 1 and then just kept pushing their way through. Yes, 2 points remaining did sting a little, but they had a lot of time to just fight back. And given how they were having a lot of control around the map, it was just a matter of time, and that's what we ended up seeing there. So we come to with that conclusion, Eggshells goes 2-0 there. My Like Paradise eliminated, but they will take, I believe, 9th in gold brackets to conclude on this one. But this will be the end of our coverage for me and you, Manaphy, as we get new commentators in. So before we wrap up this one, Manaphy, where can the people find you?
You can definitely go find me on Twitter, or you can find me on Twitch. Manaphy-san, I do some kind of content creation for Splatoon, so like I know I haven't really been doing some content creation due to like, you know, college stuff, but like, you know, I'm back. I want to get into it again, so like I definitely got the time for it now. So like, yeah, again, you can find me on Twitter, Manaphy-san, even on Twitch as well. Now let's get on to you. Where can they find you, Keon?
Yes, you can find me, Kion2570, on Twitter and on Twitch. I post a lot of nonsense on Twitter, and also the skies that are blue above. On Twitch, I do a lot of variety. I do Splatoon, but also many other games. So I play a lot of things for y'all. So you guys can smash the follow button there on this one. Again, huge shout outs to the rest of the SEC staff and production today for bringing you guys the coverage here from Groups 2 Gold for us. But that's going to be it for us here today. New set of commentators. We'll take this one home the rest of the way for Tournament 3. But with Manaphy, I'm Kyon saying thanks for tuning in to our coverage. But hey, the fresh commentators are literally just on deck. So stay tuned. You do not want to miss a thing. Gold bracket coverage resumes in just a bit.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Welcome back to SAC Season 8, Qualifier number 3. We're going to be heading into our top 10 of our lovely, lovely gold bracket. But first of all, my name is Grace, and I'm accompanied tonight by the lovely Pat.
Hello everybody, and let's get ready for some action. And tonight we are going to start the top 8 with two pretty good teams. I mean, I know quite well Elongated, they're fun people to hang out with. I don't know that much that team, so I'm gonna let you pronounce it, Grace, first, and see how you do.
I did indeed look up a video, just to make sure. 252 plus attack, Crabominable tank versus you in the snow. Now, I do want to know what possessed these players to pick this team name, and why they want us to suffer. But I do know two of these members specifically, being Ali and Echo, who are on the archive, I believe, together. So this looks like a little bit of an amalgamation of people that we do recognize. So I'm happy to see them here tonight.
Okay, so how about we call them 252 from now on, so
Okay.
we don't have to say all of that. Okay, meanwhile, shoutouts to my friend Ginny, who's on Elongated. Ginny's a co-caster usually, and he's the guy that got me to cast SAC the first time I was doing SAC. So
Wow.
very fun to have to now commentate his games. We'll see
It's a
how he
small
does.
world.
Yep.
But the first game here is going to be Tower Control on Manta Maria. Now, we know Elongated more of a team here, but I do know, like I said, Ali and Echo on the side of Crabominable. I know Echo is quite the formidable shot player, so I'm assuming we're going to see that here. But what do you think Elongated's going to pull out here, Pat?
So let me check what they usually play. So Elongated, they have a huge roster, and not sure who is playing today, but I expect to see a Splatling in the back line, and then like fast weapons going forward and try to get picks, while the Splatling stays solid and keeps the team alive.
Yeah, and on the side of Crabominable, I feel like they're probably going to end up having a ballpoint come out from Gabe, and I know Ali has been playing dualies like since forever, so we're definitely going to see that too. So I'm interested to see what these teams kind of do here and how they go up against each other, especially because the ballpoint versus Splatling can be a little interesting.
Oh yeah. Everything's possible, and it's going to start on Manta Maria. And on Manta Maria, both of these teams are going to bring the Splatlings, because Splatlings are so good here. So here we go, here we start, and let's see what these teams are playing.
Genie is going to bust out the ballpoint as well as Gabe, as we predicted, but I was expecting like the vanilla or deco Splatling from Genie, so I'm interested to see this kind of mirror matchup here. We do see shots and zaps on both teams as well, but we see the vanilla Splat dualies from Ali on Crabominable, as opposed to the sloshing machine from Elongated here, Pat.
Yeah, and I really like to see that, because the main weapons, I feel like the dualies are good against the machine, because they can dodge the machine, not get hit by the due shots, and really counter the machine's attacks. But in terms of specials, like, the machine can really punish what the dualies are doing with like that wide shot that can fire above the crab tank. And here we go, Elongated already getting to the first checkpoint, and already with a good lock, that's going to be a very, very easy checkpoint for Elongated here.
Yeah, I mean, we did see that Zuka come out. Unfortunately, didn't really get any picks there on the side of Elongated. Crabominable is kind of in a tough spot here. The Booyah Bomb's going to come out from Elongated. Their ballpoint is going to go down. There's 2 bombs on the tower. They don't get any picks here, but Echo is up here on this area, gets snuffed out. But Ali here is going to get a pick on the tower, which is so huge into stopping their push.
Yeah, Ali delaying everything, very close from Crab Tank, but electing to really maintain that pressure on the tower, and now has to move away from it. Elongated, they are not stopping, and now they have Tactical, so they are not going to stop. They're going to throw themselves at that tower, try to get a few more points, but Ali is not letting them, and 252 is just on the attack now, and making sure that... Oh, wait! Is that a DC?
That is indeed a DC from Crabominable. Their name is so long that the network would not handle them for much longer in this match, and unfortunately that's probably not going to be a DC here, as Elongated does have the lead.
Yeah, and given how good that lead is, I don't think that DC can lead to a replay, so that's going to be very, very good. That's probably a game one for Elongated, but 252, they are not stopping their defense. They are throwing everything they can. They want to prevent that KO. They want to show that they have a fighting spirit in them, and they want to make sure that Elongated has to sweat if they want to get to game 2.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw that Ali, as well as their Zap there, Boastian, I think that was, or how do you already say that? They were all kind of swarming the tower here. We see Gabe as well dropping into that pit, trying to stop the tower. Ali rushing it, but they just couldn't. I mean, with one player down always when you have a disconnect, I mean, it's just, there's no way that you could win in most cases.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but that's how it goes, and let's hope that that player from 252 can get their connection back and get back in the lobby fast. But that's 1-0 for Elongated, and Elongated, it's just a best of 3. They just need one extra win from then on.
Yeah, and I mean, Elongated is a huge SAC, what's the right word? Veteran here. I mean, they played both of the qualifiers. They did pretty well in both of them. I mean, they got a lot of results, and we know them very well. Like we talked about Genie, especially co-casting and stuff with the podcast and all of that. They love SAC. They eat, sleep, and breathe SAC. So going into top 8 here, this win must feel really good for them, even though the circumstances were a little sad.
Yeah, it's very good, especially since it's the first time they get gold bracket this season. They had silver both on qualifier 1 and 2, and so this is their gold bracket, and they start with a win, even if it's a win that's on a GC, but it's still a win, and now they're in a very good spot to get to semifinals. So that has to feel good. They have to feel like this is finally their SAC qualifier.
I don't want to count Crabominable out just yet, though, because we did see them put up a really good fight, even given the DC. I mean, they stalled them out for a fair bit there, Pat. So I'm interested to see what kind of happens here going into Rainmaker on Crableg Capital. This is one of the newer maps that we've seen. But do we think we're going to see the ball points again? Probably, but what else?
I mean, we have to see ball points again. I feel like it's again that amount of grades. If your teammate likes to have a Splatling, they're going to love this map, and we can expect them to bring that to the table. But we could see the other ball point, because having a vacuum on this map to push on Rainmaker is so good. It can just allow you to take 20 or 30 extra points just for free, just because you popped the special in the right spot at the right time. But here we go, let's see what they are bringing to the table. Genie back with a ball point, and Gabe too, but that's a different ball point. Yeah, Gabe going with a vacuum.
You called it here. I mean, Gabe opts for the ballpoint with the vac, again trying to maybe get some better pushes off, but it looks like Elongated here tossed out their sloshing machine and went for double shot. So we're probably going to be seeing a lot of Trizukas this game, Pat.
That might happen. We have 3 Trizukas on the map, but right now it's just a deathmatch, a team deathmatch, pick after pick after pick. And both teams are just hanging around the Rainmaker, trying to get an advantage. Cooler is popped for both teams. Elongated lost 2 players, but I think they had Cooler, so they will be right back. And 252 already getting to the checkpoint, trying to get it, but gets stopped by Bazooka. The vacuum was just a bit too late, but that vacuum is going to allow Gabe to just instantly pop it, and that, just grab and go. Yep, that's a checkpoint.
Yeah, and I mean, holding your ground there on that elbow, very, very nicely done by Gabe on the ball point here. We see the shot kind of try to drop in to pick them off, but they very wisely back up and let them run into them. We see here Elongated's going to have the Rainmaker in their possession. They are going to go one down with no Zap or Cooler in sight, but they do have a Zuko online, so this push knot might be dead yet.
And you can see them really eyeing to move forward. 252 not stopping, really forcing that defense, and Elongated, they were looking at that left checkpoint, but now they are forced to go to the right, and it looks like Genie got that checkpoint for free right now. There was nobody from 252 guarding that checkpoint, and the game is pretty much tied, Grace.
Oh my gosh, it is quite the fight over here by the Rainmaker. Unfortunately, it looks like another member of Crabominable is going to go down. They're painting up that pedestal. The shot is up here into this top right area, contesting them fully. The Rainmaker keeps going for points, getting to 25 remaining. 3 minutes left here. What do you think they're going to see?
Bane wins adding to the aggro, and right now Elongated just trying to run at the Rainmaker, but given where the Rainmaker is, it's so hard to pick for Elongated right now. 252 are going to get a little bit of room to breathe and are going to shoo away Elongated. The Rainmaker is reset, so 252 are back looking to get that attack, but Elongated are not stopping.
We see that Vac come out on that little gray area towards the elbow near that checkpoint, but the other ballpoint is going to end up going down. I thought that they were about to make the play of the century with that inkjet.
What was that?
We see Eladio sitting here in fear as the members of Crabominable push up into this ink rail. We see Ali here trying to push up with their Rainmaker. They have their special online. But another DC happens on the side of Crabominable, no. And it's the same player, the shot, Echo, I believe, just DC'd.
Echo again DCing, and that's, with that lead that Elongated has, that's going to be near undoable for 252 for Crabominable to get back in. And that is so sad to see a set go like that, and right now Gabe needs to, they need not only to just get a pick, stop that attack from Elongated, they need to get such a big comeback right now. And Elongated, they want another KO, they want a victory lap right now.
Crabominable is not out yet. We see Ali pop that crab, unfortunately does go down. But the Zap here and the ballpoint Gabe are still trying to keep up a good fight. They're by that pedestal trying to stall out the Rainmaker, but the picks just keep coming. It's going to be really, really tough here for Crabominable to stop this push.
Yeah, and Shinx not stopping, just pummeling with the Rainmaker, trying to get a few extra pick, and right now it's just Boshian with the Zap. Boshian gets picked again, and that's going to be the game.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Very unfortunate that Crabominable had 2 DCs. That's why you gotta get some subs. But they still had a really good showing here. I think if they hadn't had those DCs both of those games, they showed a lot of potential in coming back from those pushes. They had a lot of aggression and a lot of coordination together. But Elongated here is gonna take the set convincingly.
Yeah. 252 plus attack, Crabominable tank versus you in the snow. You guys did your best, but in the end, you were beaten by your internet connection. Congratulations to Elongated. They made it to semifinals. And Grace, I think we're going to take a short break as we prepare to watch the other semifinal.
You bet, Pat. But right before we take that break, I want to give a little shout out to a LAN happening in Boston, Massachusetts. Shout out to New England's first LAN for Splatoon 3 is just around the corner. New England Splatoon is excited to introduce New Inkland. I'm a big fan of puns, so I like this. Come hang out and compete at Balance Patch in Alston, Boston. Side events, including Salmon Run, are subject to demand, so be sure to join their Discord server and register soon. Competitor badges are $20, but $15 for students. I myself am a student, so pretty good deal. Children under 16 have to be accompanied by an adult, so keep that in mind for you young'uns out there. But they are very, very excited to see you all there, and hopefully you can show. and we can see just what New England has to offer the community here. So you should join their Discord at dsc.gg/NESplatoon. You can also check out their Twitter, which is at NESplatoon as well.
Yeah, I can't wait. I love all these lands that are popping everywhere, and I can't wait to watch that from afar because I'm way too far from that. But yeah, having a land that's named after a pun, like, can't ask for more.
Yeah, I've only gone to some locals myself. I went to the first Big Dapple. I've gone to some, Philadelphia meetups for Splatoon. Definitely go if you have the chance. It's such a great way to meet people in the community that you've been in for so long. It's a great feeling.
Yeah.
But that will indeed do it for now for us. We will be back soon with semifinals of our gold bracket.
And we are back and now ready to show the semifinals of this SAC qualifier number 3. It's going to be Half-Life versus Demolition. Both of these teams are have played in the last qualifier, but they didn't play each other. Demolition, they got to silver, and so did Half-Life, but now they are both into gold. Grace. These teams are fighting to get to the finals, even though they were both in silver last time. That's a very good progress.
Yeah, it always feels really good when you can see your progress literally in the next qualifier for SAC, so I'm sure both of these teams are pumped right now. Specifically, Half-Life is on quite the path of destruction right now. In groups, they 2-0'd both of their matches, one being against La 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 La, and the other one was against Sub Power Up. And we know the folks over at Sub Power Up, they're quite the formidable foe, so Half-Life is on a really good win streak here. They did lose a game here to Eggshells last set, but they're still kicking, so I'm interested to see how they do here.
Yeah, and we saw both of these teams earlier, well, while our colleagues were commentating. And I love to see like Demolition's playstyle. Like, they are so aggressive. They just run in, deny every control, constantly attack, and make sure that your team cannot have anything going for yourself. And Half-Life a bit more in terms of control of the map. So like seeing both of these teams go against each other in semifinals is going to be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going into, like we've been saying, this is semifinals, so this is a really big step up for both of these teams. But I do want to start talking about the maps that we have here tonight, Pat. So,
yeah.
For game 1 of semifinals, we're going into Splat Zones on Shipshape Cargo Co. Knowing these teams and knowing what kind of comps that they're going to bring out, what do you think we're going to see specifically from Demolition here?
In the case of Demolition, I think like we can. I mean, from today they've played like double Zipcaster. I'm not so sure double Zipcaster is going to work here, but so I expect like the Stamper to come back and the October's Nouveau to give some beacons, and like just I want to see them get all these picks and constantly maintain that aggression that they have. And so yeah, I say like they go in as fast as they can. I'm not even sure if they bring a backline in here.
That's interesting. For Half-Life, I know that 2 of their members do play backline-ish weapons. Some people, ballpoint's a little weird, but 2 backline-ish weapons. I know they have somebody who plays Charger, like ZNF, and somebody who plays ballpoint, like I was saying before. But I'm interested to see what other weapons they bring. I'm mostly thinking shooters for Half-Life because a lot of their players play like Shot, Splash, T-Tech, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm expecting to see a pretty meta comp come out of them.
Yeah, and that's the thing with roster depth. And like a depth in the weapon that you can bring. It's always you have that ability to adapt, and on a map like Shipshape, on zones especially, and then on the Hagglefish Market, which we're sure to see, like these. Being able to adapt what the other team is doing is very good, even though it's the best of 3 and you have very limited time to adapt to what your opponent is doing. But like we'll see if that goes the way of Half-Life. But I expect them to do pretty well, and I expect this to be a very close one.
Half-Life specifically is pretty confident on zones, I would say as well. Probably because of that triple shooter mostly comp that they like to run. But it's good to see your most confident mode be played first, going into a set against an opponent you haven't played yet.
Oh yeah, for sure. But here we go. Here we start the game, and let's see what is brought by both teams. Finally. That's Destruction bringing the Stamper again. No Octobrush, but a Carbon instead. And both teams bringing Carbon Grace.
I am delighted by the Carbon picks. Although we don't see the double Zipcaster come out of Demolition, like we saw before, we do see one of them, which is still pretty cool. The Nautilus is an interesting pick as well. They did just go down, so my bad. As well. But these are some interesting comps here, Pat. I'm excited.
Yeah, but one thing I noticed is that Ezio with a Carbon for Half-Life has ability doubler, which you usually don't want to have on the Carbon.
They probably forgot because it is the Splash.
Remember, it's a Splatfest, the bane of every tournament and private battle. But here we go, Demolition with a very good control so far. And they are extending, they're trying to get in as much as they can, and Half-Life just defending their own spawn right now. Demolition is in, but gets punished. And now it's just the Carbons left standing for Demolition, but they... Okay, finally a flip of the zone.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that Carbon 1v1, although it was less of a 1v1 and the other one jumping on the other one. But we do see this cooler up for Half-Life is really going to help them push into the zone here to try and paint it. They do have 2 really good painting weapons, but they are not up right now. I mean, the one of them just came back, but the other one, the Zap, gets snuffed out by Spleef on the end Zap, which is a really good pick, especially on zones. To be able to hold that zone, you got to take out their painters.
Yeah, and Demolition right now fighting to get that zone back, fighting to... I mean, that penalty is applied to Half-Life now, and Demolition getting almost rid of their penalty, but Half-Life this time not back in their spawn. They are back on the attack, they are still there, and they are going to... They don't have any penalty pretty much, so they're going to be able to score some points again.
We see this Stampy here on the side of Demolition trying to get some picks. They're in that little corner. I think I heard them Zipcaster. I am shaking in my boots right now. They're trying to get into the spawn of Half-Life to trying to push them back a little bit. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem that it's very well for them. They do get taken out. The shot here is in a 1v1 against SU on the Carbon. They get 2 with their Zuka, which is going to be huge in getting back to the zone. And they still keep the lead here, Pat.
That double was key in keeping that lead. The rest of Demolition was getting back on the zone, was 2 players were not enough to take that splatter shot. And right now, Demolition, they keep the smallest of leads, but they don't have much penalty left, so if they just keep that zone a bit longer, they are en route to a KO. What? Scratch that.
Demolition Zap here, opting to try and take out that knot to keep the zone in their favor. Unfortunately, they do get taken out, and the zone is going to flip back into Demolition's favor here. We see Plus here on the shot, trying to get a pick, getting a pick on the Carbon, which is great for their other front lines. You don't have to worry about them sharking and randomly jumping on you.
Yeah, and Half-Life hanging on in there, trying to stay in the game, but Demolition maintaining the aggression, maintaining the picks, getting that zone back, and now they don't have any penalty. They're going to extend that lead, Grace.
Really, really good news for Demolition here. I mean, we see the Zuka come out on the side of Half-Life trying to get some picks here, but they don't get any. The Carbon goes out trying to take out the shot after the fact, but Rexy here is going to try and get up onto their spawn, onto that right side. I don't know why I said spawn, to try and get the zone back, which is great for them, which they do get the zone back. That Zuka is going to go down on the side of Demolition, but the zone is going to flip back in Demolition's favor, and Half-Life is going to be 2 down. Both teams are 2 down, and there's so much happening.
This is a team deathmatch, but that team deathmatch is just going into Demolition's way. Demolition back with the controller, and the zone has been so back and forth that there is pretty much no penalty for them right now, and they are just looking to get that KO with just 30 seconds left. Half-Life, they have to throw themselves at the zone, but it's going to be too late.
Yeah, I mean, really nicely played by Demolition there. I mean, as soon as Half-Life got a chance to kind of push back in, they had pushed the zone so much to the point that they just didn't have a chance. We saw that the shot there, who was one of their main painters, arguably, on their comp, Zuka'd, which was not going to help them paint the zone, unfortunately, but it was very back and forth, and we know that both of these teams are great on zones, but that was just the first game, Pat. What are we thinking for game 2 here?
I mean, I wish we could see the stats, because the KD on these games must be over the roof. And like on tower control, can you maintain that kind of aggression, that kind of fighting on tower control Hagglefish? I feel like can either team maintain that pace that they've shown us here on the Hagglefish? Because on Hagglefish, if you get like a few extra picks, suddenly you can really calm the enemy team into their spawn, get 2 checkpoints, and things go wrong very fast. The zone is not ticking as you fight, and both of these teams prefer fighting than playing objective, it looks like to me. So I feel like they have to change the way they play, especially Half-Life, because these fights were going Demolition's way.
Yeah, we saw a lot of those carbon 1v1s, surprisingly. I feel like I feel like I don't see carbon 1v1s. But they were very back and forth. I feel like their carbons are very equally matched. So they're kind of like, I'm coming back for you after they die to them, and then they get them the next time. And then they come back and then they get them. And it just is a big back and forth. So I'm hoping we see more of that here. I don't know if they're gonna go carbon here on Hagglefish. But I do know that Demolition really likes Hagglefish. This is one of their best maps, they feel. So hopefully Half-Life can try and clutch it out here.
Yeah, Half-Life has to clutch it out. We are now in a best of 3. This is single elimination, so it is do or die for Half-Life. Demolition, they just need that one extra win. And Grace, I think we can expect that Stamper to come back, because a Zipcaster on Tower Control, Zipcaster here honestly is pretty good.
That is very true. Maybe we will see that Zipcaster again. I would love to see it. I think Zipcaster is a really fun special. I think it can pair really well too if you do it like with your other specials, or just somebody pushes up with you as well once you Zipcaster, like onto the tower, onto their spawn, wherever you want to go. It's really good and effective here.
Yeah, lots of control options, but honestly, it's all going to be decided by which team is able to stand in place, deny one attack from the other team. We've seen just both teams run at each other during that first game. I want to see them try to keep control of the ground that they have. And I feel like if one team is able to do that, they win this game.
Yeah, that's very true. I think both of these teams had really good aggression. So they have this opportunity to really push up into their spawn, but I think it's going to be up to the positioning and winning those fights. You have to win those carbon 1v1s, y'all. You have to win them.
You have to win them for sure. But here we go. This is game 2. This is do or die, and let's see how these teams adapt their comp. Oh, the Zipcaster is coming back, but on the Octobrush this time.
I am ecstatic to see Octobrush. I feel like I never see it anymore. There's going to be Zipcaster, we see the Inkjet on the ballpoint. Really, really fun specials coming out. We do see the staple zaps and shots on both teams as well. Somebody on the side of Half-Life, Rexy here already popping that Zuka, and their ballpoint's going to go down, as well as this Octobrush. The cooler is out, and it is time for Half-Life to push. Although I just said that and they all died, Pat, so I got to stop talking.
I mean, that's why you have Cooler 4 and Isya right now getting a picks after picks after picks. Finally, Spleef putting an end to that rain, but getting traded for that by Ezio. Ezio just pushing in with Bazooka, and Half-Life is on the attack. Never mind, I talked about control, but we are back to a team deathmatch, and both teams are very happy with that.
That cooler is back out again, Pat. Both of these teams, Half-Life is coolered up right now. We see that other Zuka come out. Ezio here is going to get another pick. They're already up onto that little right area of the spawn of Demolition. And I mean, points are ticking down. They're already at that second checkpoint, and they clear it, Pat.
And that second checkpoint is done. We are now to the last checkpoint. Half-Life no longer... Okay, they're still there. They're still trying to get it. At least they touch that checkpoint. It's a 2v2. It's a 2v1. It's just Okimi. Okimi with a ballpoint trying to stop things. Okimi stopping them, but a bit too late. The checkpoint is broken. Half-Life, what a first push, and it's not over. Ezio is in there. Ezio is stopped. Okay.
Ezio is indeed stopped. But Half-Life cleared every single checkpoint on that first push. There is just about 33 minutes remaining in this game here. We see the Brush here get a pick on the knot, but trading out. Unfortunately, we do see the Zuka come out. But everyone is dead on both teams here. And it looks like it's going to be a fight to see who can take back mid in this graveyard.
It's really the last Squid standing that gives the jump to the rest of the team, and right now Half-Life has the control of this game, and that's the kind of comeback that you want, especially like that first game was much closer, and right now Demolition is struggling to get anything going. They have 2 players down again, and Half-Life with Tacticolor are going to attack. Again, gets another pick.
Oh my gosh, it is pick after pick. We see the members of Half-Life trying to push up here, but the Zuka is going to push them back. Very nice Zuka from Demolition here, trying to kind of stall them out. Unfortunately, they are going to lose their brush here, which is really going to stagnate them in trying to push back Half-Life's push.
Yeah, finally Demolition getting some breathing, but you have to remember that Ezio is behind you, looking to get a few extra pick. Demolition just electing to bring the tower away from their goal, and that's all you want right now. Bring the tower back to mid, and Endo, so just getting a few points for the team and trying to get some momentum for Demolition right now.
That not going down on the side of Half-Life is going to be crucial in Demolition's take of this checkpoint here, as well as basically that's a delayed wipe for Demolition.
Yeah.
Getting a delayed wipe on Half-Life, which is going to be huge. They secure the checkpoint. They got the knot again, which is most of their range against this ballpoint here. It's going to be tough to stop this next checkpoint.
And right now Demolition is back on the attack, but a bit not as strong as what Half-Life did. It's 2v2, they still have players on the tower, but they get picked. The Zipcaster is thrown, is going to get... it's just enough of the diversion to get a trade, but right now Demolition has to move back to mid, try to keep that control. We're in the last minute of the game, and Demolition is one checkpoint behind.
Oh my golly goodness. Like you said, 1 minute left, and Demolition has to make a push of a lifetime. The tower is back in mid. Half-Life does not have their knot up. Oh my, that is a wipe on the side of Half-Life. Demolition, this is the momentum that they need here. They're popping all of their specials, trying to keep Half-Life away from spawn. Their ballpoint does go down, which is going to be really unfortunate. Another one goes down, the shot on the side of Demolition. There's a bunch of members trying to hop onto the tower, plus hops on and stops the push in its tracks. 20 seconds left, Pat. Oh my gosh.
It started so well for Demolition, but Half-Life's iron strong defense just stopping net, and that checkpoint is not going to be gone through. Half-Life staying strong in their spawn. Demolition have a last try, but you need to have someone on tower now. Okay, they do. They have the players on tower, and right now it's two, or there is just two players left on tower with the Tacticolor. They get the jumps in, they get to that second checkpoint, trying to, and they get a wipeout! They get a wipeout right now! This is the push of a lifetime, Grace!
Oh my god, all of the members of Half-Life are jumping onto the tower, and they get another wipe, securing the set here, Pat. That was the most wild overtime push I've ever seen in my life. Everyone was just dying constantly, but overtime wins are just so do or die that Half-Life kept trying to feed in to try and get to that tower, but they just couldn't. And Demolition is gonna take the set here.
What? That was such a crazy comeback! Like, they just threw themselves at the tower. They just threw bodies at the tower and got lead off of that. That was epic.
That was actually crazy. Listen, Demolition was not lying when they said that they really like Tagglefish. But I felt like we saw a different side of Half-Life there. I was really shocked at how they kind of panicked there towards the end and just threw themselves onto the tower trying to stop it. I think if they had just one special there, if they had gotten one special, that would have stopped it. But I get it. Over time, it's ticking down. That last checkpoint, I mean, you just start panicking and freaking out.
Half-Life, they won the first minute of that game, and then for 4 minutes they were in control. They were denying things from Demolition. It's just a Demolition that they didn't need. They only needed like 30 seconds in the end to just run in and get that lead back. And what a way to get into finals, Grace.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that, Pat. We're going to see Demolition here, right off the heels of their victory here against Half-Life in Grand Finals for our third qualifier here for Season 8 of the lovely SAC.
Yeah, that's going to be an epic one, and the other two teams are fighting off their 1-1 right now. We'll have a short break as we wait for them to decide who's going to face Demolition. Good luck to them.
Yeah. Especially after seeing that. We know that Demolition, I mean, their push was pretty good towards the start there. At the start of overtime, I mean. But they had a really big hill to climb, and they climbed it, Pat. So going into grand finals, they kind of have this adrenaline pumping through them. And I am really excited to watch.
Don't go anywhere.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. We are in grand finals of SAC Season 8's qualifier number 3, Pat. And we have quite the match for y'all tonight. It is Elongated versus Demolition.
Yeah, and both of these teams, this is not their first SAC, and this is not the first time they meet in SAC. During qualifier number 2, the first game these two teams had in qualifier number 2 was against each other because they were in the same groups. And Demolition won 2-1. Now, they met again because the first game they had in this qualifier was against each other because they were in the same group, and Demolition won 2-1. And now they meet again, and Elongated is looking to break the curse.
If you're Elongated right now, you're either shaking in your boots or you are filled with rage. And I'm hoping it's the latter because I love to see rage-filled matches. But this is like quite the grudge match here, Pat. I mean, Demolition is standing in the way of Elongated winning gold bracket this time around. So there's a lot of steam heading into this one.
There is a lot going on, and a reminder, like, the team that wins this gets to just go to the qualifiers directly to the SAC finals. So there is a lot on the line, and we'll see how both of these teams are doing. It's going to be a tough one, especially after we've seen Demolition live up to their name and just get in and get body their opponent.
Yeah, I mean, Demolition here definitely has the upper hand. I mean, they have these two 2-1 wins over Elongated previously. I mean, it does a lot to just come into this match saying, we've done it before, we can do it again.
Yeah, but this time it's not the best of 3. Demolition cannot win 2-1 because this is the final and it's a best of 5. We're going to start on Clan Blitz on Macomart, and we are starting right away.
Oh my golly. I'm expecting to see similar comps that we saw before. We see the double shot coming out of Elongated here, and we see a similar comp as well coming out from Demolition, that Zipcaster on that brush and the Zuka on that Carbon.
Yeah, and Jordan with the Machine Neo can be pretty happy because 3 players from Demolition are running Ninja Squid, and when you have these point sensors, Ninja Squid is not as troublesome. That's pretty good for Demolition. Demolition right now, they are in control of mid. Elongated is in control of mid and looking to get things going.
Yeah, Elongated here came into this match ready to kill. They killed that Carbon right at the start of the match here. We see Latios trying to get that shot, but unfortunately they do fail. They came into this and they had control of mid at the start, but now it's starting to flip a little bit in Demolition's favor. We see a few members of both teams go down. Shinx goes down to the shot on the side of Elongated, and it looks like no one really has a firm control of mid yet, Pat.
Yeah, both teams really struggling to get any control. But it's not going to be decided by control, it's going to be decided by pick after pick after pick. It's fight!
Oh
and
my
they
God.
open the basket.
Yeah, and I mean, both teams are going to go 2 down here. Now only the shot is up on the side of Elongated. They jump into this pit under the basket here to try and finish off other members of Demolition, and they succeed, only pushing it to 71 remaining. Elongated here is going to keep up with their aggression, and they're going to come out strong with another Zuka, trying to push up, get paint down, and get some more picks.
Yeah, and that was not that big of an opening of the basket for Demolition. 71 isn't that much, especially if you give a pity clan to Elongated. Elongated with Banelins just dancing under the snipe, and right now there's a lot of clams for Elongated. That could be a very, very big push.
Yeah, and we see one of the members with a lot of clams here is going to be one of those shots, and they do go down, dropping down to try and get a pick with their Zuka. The one holding the other power clam is also going to go down on the side of Elongated, and their push is going to get stomped out before it can really even begin.
Yeah, and that flank from the Octobrush really forced Elongated to look backwards, not look at the basket, not try to score clams, but just keep themselves in the game, and they paid dearly for it. Like, the Octobrush really did a great job of aggro, but right now 3 down on the side of Demolition. Elongated, if they can get rid of that carbon, the map is theirs. They just need a few extra clams. They just need to make a ball, and they could get another attack.
An attack they do. They have so many clams here, Pat. I mean, they just need like somebody to pass to one of these clams here. Pass the clams. I want a power.
We want. Okay, and finally they have a power clam, but Demolition is back into place. They're so used to getting into fight, like they get right back in the game. This map is so small, it really allows that. Elongated getting their drinks. They're going to look to get on the attack now, going forward with the Zuka.
But unfortunately, I mean, a lot of them do go down, but we do see 2 power clams scored, which is going to make them take the lead here. But we do see Demolition already has a power clam of their own, and the pity hasn't even spawned yet. They are going to overextend a little bit, but 2 people are going to go down on the side of a wipeout. On the side of Elongated here, and Demolition is going to put in 2 power clams, getting the lead right after Elongated made their push.
Yeah, and Demolition, they are not wasting time making super clams. They are just throwing them in, and right now they are down to 22 points away from a KO. Elongated struggling to get back that control. They are back into mid, but they have no clams, and they need a lot here in the last minute, but they get a few more picks. It's just the Octobrush right now. Elongated, they need the clams. They need to pick up clams if they want another attack.
Yeah, and I mean, they really need it. They do have that pity online there, which one of the shots does opt to grab and jump into the basket, scoring, only getting down to their penalty, but a few more clams are going to hop in there into the basket, but not enough to get the lead here. And I don't think any of the members of Elongated here are going to try and rush in to get it. 30 seconds left here, Pat, and Elongated has to make a push to get the lead.
Yeah, they stay in the game, but look at that, they all got 3 down again, and they have the clams. They just need to make a ball again, and they could get a very good push. That Demolition already back onto mid, already back into the fight, and Shinx looking to get something going under the basket, but gets traded. And right now, Elongated, no super clam. That's going to be game 1.
Yeah, Pat. I mean, Demolition did a really excellent job there of whenever they noticed that Elongated had enough clams to get a power clam, they took advantage of them squandering trying to pass clams to each other.
Yeah.
And they took advantage of that and pushed into them while they were a little bit distracted, which is really, really smart if that was intentional, which I think it was. I mean, as soon as we saw them try and pass clams to each other while they were just a little bit preoccupied, Demolition just collapsed in on them.
Yeah, Grace, like 2 or 3 times in the game, Demolition had 3 players down, and just 1 player sharking and finding the right way to aggro all of Elongated, forcing the rest of Elongated to look at them long enough that the rest of Demolition can get back into the defense, back into the fight. And Elongated really, even when they had the control, even when they had the map, they really struggled to assemble a push and get forward and get these points in. And other than just like making that super climb and putting it in the basket, these 2 teams, they were 10 points away from each other.
I think now that we're over with clams, and we're not going to see that until if we get to a game 5 here, Pat, Elongated has a really good chance here, I think, on Splat Zone's Barnacle and Dime, which is going to be our game 2 here in Grand Finals. I think since the objective just kind of sits there in mid, I think that's going to enable Elongated to push up more and not have to coordinate so much with the objective.
Yeah, as you said, like it was really that coordination around the clams that was a problem. There are no clams in Splat Zones. There are no clams in most game modes, actually. And Like, yeah, as you said, you just need, once the zone is painted, you don't need to coordinate anything other than the team fights. And in terms of team fights, Elongated were doing very, very well on Macomart. So, and they can bring like what they need to bring, like to get back into that game to get the 1-1.
I think since it is Barnacle and Dime, what kind of comp changes do you think we're going to see on either of these teams here?
I feel like the machine Neo has to come back because these point sensors are so important with the playstyle that Demolition has. So I really want Elongated to bring that back, and if they can bring extra range, I mean, on Barnacle and Dime, range is just so good. It's almost always the team with the longest range that wins on Barnacle and Dime.
Yeah, good point. I think a member of Demolition here does have somebody who plays like leader heavy ballpoint ZNF. So I'd be interested to see if they swap that player in or they swap to one of those weapons, because it can be really, really good in enabling your team to push up if they just don't really have to worry too much about the range diff.
Yeah, here's the thing, Grace. I don't think she's here. We haven't seen her.
No.
So like
No.
I think, and since Genie is back on the roster, is back with the ballpoint, and that's going to be the range advantage. But Eevee with the Stamper, that Stamper has deceptively long range and is almost a backline. It has the range of a Jet Squelcher.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw on the map how much it is painting right now. Plus, that Zipcaster is going to be crucial in pushing Genie back on that ballpoint. We see here both of these teams are going to pop their coolers right into the zone here. We see the shot. Latios trying to get a pick. Unfortunately, the paint goes around them, but they still somehow get out. Both of the zaps straight out at the same time here. But it looks like Elongated has the first control here.
Yeah, a very good first control. It's 3 down from Demolition, and Elongated, they still have that tactical active, so they can push a little bit further. Banelins just respecting the defense from Demolition, but right now it's a lockdown initiated, and with the Inkjet, okay, well, there was an Inkjet, but now there's a Zuka. Elongated in a good spot. It's all going to be on Eevee to break that range.
And break that they do. They hop onto the zone there after getting a really clean pick, enabling their teammates to kind of hop in here, but they do go back for that cooler, which is a good idea there. I do believe so, Eevee. They're going to try and get up into Elongated's face, but that kind of backfires on them as they go down. And another member of Elongated gets taken out by this. Another member from Elongated is going to get taken out by this Carbon. This Carbon is a problem for them.
Yeah, that was such great Carbon moves, but Elongated, they stay in control, and they don't have that much penalty left. If they stay in control a bit more, if Genie stay strong with the ballpoint, oh wait, they have 2 down. They're going to get rid of that penalty. They're going to get a bit more push, but right now Demolition is back on the attack and back looking to get things going.
We see that Zipcaster come out again from Eevee. They're hopping all over around the zone. It is going to finish without getting a kill, though. 10 seconds left, or 10 points remaining on the zone, and it looks like Demolition has a really good chance of capping. They're going to pop out that Zuka, but the zone is really flipping in either team's favor here. It's still neutral, but it flips in Elongated's favor, and Demolition can't cap it in time.
And we are 1-1 in this final. Both of these teams just showing us how it's done, but Elongated right now, like the first game was close with Elongated struggling to get the clams, but on zones, like they were in full control of that map.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before the game, that we were like, zones is really going to enable them to push up and do what they do best, which is kill and murder. But by the end there, they knew that as soon as a member of Demolition popped that Zuka, that they could win that paint fight against them. And they did. They were like, we'll push up if we have to, but let's just paint the zone, because if we flip it here, they can't take it back.
Speaking of taking it back, Grace, look at the next map mode. I think Demolition is happy with that map mode. They
Most
have to be.
definitely. They must be like, we did it literally like 30 minutes ago. We can do it again.
Oh yeah. This is the map mode where they can get a comeback. This is the map mode where you can't count them out even after the game is over within overtime, and they're just jumping onto tower desperately. Demolition has like what it takes to do anything on Hagglefish TC, and it's going to be a tough one for Elongated.
Yeah, I think knowing that though, maybe if Elongate was watching, or maybe if they had their own really good TC Haggle match in their own semifinals, I think that they could come into this with just with the same amount of confidence as Demolition here.
Yeah, could possibly. We'll see what teams are able to do. I hope the ballpoint comes back, because the ballpoint on there, especially with the inkjet, it's an inkjet. Inkjet is so good.
It is so good. I mean, especially in trying to break out of mid, especially, well, assuming you try and maybe pair it with a Zuka, you're really just gonna rain terror down on your opponents right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we can call it that both teams are going to run to mid, pop a cooler, and then pop Zuka right away, and then we'll see what happens.
Yes, I am getting flashbacks to the Ink armor meta in Splatoon 2 when it was who can get armor the quickest, who can get cooler the quickest, who can get Zuka the quickest, and then kill somebody on the other team.
Yeah.
We have been seeing that opening a lot. You're right, from both of these teams, so we're probably just gonna see it again.
Yep, and here we go. Let's see if we go under Genie and bring back the ballpoint, but the ballpoint on the side of Demolition too with Okimi. The Octobrush is back. There's always going to be a Zipcaster for Demolition.
Yes, and I can appreciate it. I think it's really good if you enable it to be good. But yeah, Okimi going onto the ballpoint here. Weren't they the Carbon player?
Yes, they were. I think they were. That's range right there.
That is quite the weapon pull. We see the shot go down to Genie on that Inkjet here, raining terror onto mid, like we thought that they were going to open with. And Demolition's gonna lose the mid fight here, going 2 down. Their ballpoint's gonna hold that jet to try and push back on them onto one of their checkpoints. Genie here making that beeping noise, which is gonna burn my ears off. But they're gonna get to the first checkpoint here, Pat.
Yeah, and with 2 players down again from Demolition, Elongated is just here with a very good opening push. That's already first checkpoint, and they're looking to get to the second, and they're in a very good spot. Latios just flank camping bats here. It's just, oh wait, and it's 4 versus 2. It's 4 versus what? It's a wipeout, and they're getting to checkpoint 3.
Demolition is getting a taste of their own medicine here. They are 2 down. Oh my gosh, the NZAP is going to go down as well. And they lose on TC Hagglefish, our game 3 here. It's going to be 2-1.
It's 2-1 on Grace. Elongated, they broke the curse. They won a best of 3 against Demolition. Except it's not enough.
It is not enough, unfortunately, since it is grand finals. But this must feel really great for Elongated here. I mean, they finally looked Demolition in the face and they said, "I will kill you now," and they did. They're bringing it back. I mean, when it really counts, they're gonna win against them.
It's like Elongated. They cracked the code. They found, okay, if we do this, if we do that. If we get a range, if we get an inkjet there, if we take care of that flank that they always do, we can do that. And that's what you can see from teams that start playing against each other time after time. Like, you have to review these games, you have to think about it, you have to discuss, okay, we know what they do, they know what we do, what do we do from there? And Grace, we're going to game 4, and it's going to be Rainmaker on Humpback.
Oh my. I think Rainmaker on Humpback is really fun. I think it can also be... It can shake things up a little bit because some specials and some weapons can be a little hard to master here, especially because of the weird map layout where there's like humps and like lumps everywhere. So I'm interested to see if we do see any kind of big weapon switch ups. I mean, we did see the Carbon player Okimi go on to Ballpoint, so maybe we'll see something crazy like that again.
I feel like Okimi has to go back to the Carbon. Carbon is so good on Rainmaker Humpback. It's like you can trap anywhere on mid, and you have a Zuka at the ready. I think it would be such a good pick, and especially you need something to shut Elongated down. You need to stop that, because right now Elongated, they are just like running with it. They are taking the pushes, they are just running forward, and it works for them, and you need to find a way to stop that. Because on a Rainmaker, we could see an even faster game than the last one.
I think out of the modes that we have here tonight, I think Rainmaker can be a little hard to coordinate, kind of like Clamblitz, like we saw Elongated struggle a little bit in that first game, but it's different enough to where you can still make some like little cheeky moves and you can come out unscathed even if your coordination isn't quite perfect. We do see Okimi go back to the Carbon here as we suspected, and they're gonna run for Pop.
Yeah, they are running for Pop, but the Pop is going to be yellow. Elongated in control of mid right now, looking to get a few extra pick, and with all these sharks around the Rainmaker, you know you have to paint everything before going forward.
Yeah, 2 down, I mean, on both sides here. We saw that coordination and killing that Inkjet. They're already going to get to this next checkpoint. The shot turning around to defend the Rainmaker, which is a really, really smart play. They've already cracked their first checkpoint, and it hasn't even been a minute yet.
Not a minute, and that checkpoint is going to be very good for Elongated, especially since they managed to maintain that pressure to force Demolition to just defend that Rainmaker until it resets. And now Elongated is around the Rainmaker, they're going to be able to pop it very fast and get another push.
Yeah, I mean, we hear the Zuka come out as well, trying to kind of support their teammates here. We see the Cooler as well, but I think that was a bomb double.
Yeah.
That must feel good on Demolition. They must have been like, they're about to push, we're sweating. But, you know, bombs always come in clutch. A Zuka coming out, getting another pick on the side of Elongated. Another pick, 2 picks with the same Zuka. That is going to enable Demolition to have their first push this match.
Demolition finally on the attack, but not even past mid. They are still struggling, and Elongated. How did they lose to Demolition twice? Right now they look on fire.
On fire indeed. They are really adjusting their playstyles to try and get the upper hand against Demolition. I mean, having lost to them twice, you learn a lot from that. And we see the Zipcaster come out on Demolition, trying to make some magic happen, but they're kind of getting canceled out here. They can't quite get onto their spawn, and that is not going to bode very well for their push. Indeed, a member of Elongated pushes in, and now they're 2v2 kind of right now in mid. The Brush is going to get a pick though, so maybe this push will work.
Yeah, but that push didn't get the checkpoint. It looks like Elongated is in good control of their street and of that checkpoint. Oh, never mind! They are getting in, they're getting that checkpoint, and right now, Elongated 2 players down. They have to look at elbow, and they're trying to throw bombs and all, but they get picks from that.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that Brush kind of trying to go in with that Zipcaster. We see... Oh my gosh, we see another member of Demolition just try and run that Rainmaker forward, getting the lead effectively. But on Humpback, the lead can go really, really quick if you just run across to that checkpoint. So it's if you are Demolition here, you're a better lead. And Elongated here is going to find that Carbon sharking in mid, which is going to help them try and get to their spawn to the pedestal, but the Rainmaker is going to go down to that Zuka shot.
Yeah, and more Zuka shots, more picks, and right now both teams just fighting for mid. The next team, like one single push could decide everything now that both checkpoints are done. Like, 39 isn't that big on this map. Just one team able to get past that elbow is would be enough, and that pick on the Rainmaker slowing things down right now for Demolition is so good. There's a minute and a half left, and Demolition, all they need to do is defeat whatever Elongated is doing.
That brush going down is really going to hurt their defense here. I mean, not having that Zipcaster is going to stink if they're kind of stalling you out around that elbow area. But we do see two members of Elongated go down, and the Zuka shot just gets that free kill on that Rainmaker and killing the friend that was with them.
And Demolition, they want that game 5. They are painting ahead and they're trying to move forward, get a few more points. There's a minute left, and Anderson just getting into that street, trying to push further, get a few more 2 down on Elongated. And Demolition is just moving forward right now.
We see Okimi on the carbon. I'm so sorry, shouldn't have said they are now dead. But the brush as well is going to try to push up some more, also going down. But now there's just 2 members remaining on Elongated trying to... They actually do get a pick on that shot, which means that there's going to be no Zuka quite yet in this game.
Yeah, especially if they get a pick on Okimi too. No Zuka standing. Oh! Banelin's just getting a triple and securing an extra push for Elongated. This is the push Elongated need. If they could get the win here, they could get the lead, and they get it.
Oh my gosh, Pat. There's barely any time here for Demolition to make a push here. They have to push up really far onto their plat to be able to get the lead. I mean, overtime is ticking down. That Rainmaker does have a lot of time left, but their zap did just go down, which means no more coolers coming out. The brush is also going to go down. That Zuka is trying to sniff out the Rainmaker, but they go down. Elongated. What?
Elongated with the clutch. No game 5, and they knew they didn't want to go back to Clan Blitz. They knew they really didn't want that, and they're going to get game number 4. They're going to be your SAC number 3 qualified.
Oh my gosh. Pat, that was crazy. I had flashbacks to that Demolition game when they won on tower control, when they got 2 wipes. I mean, that was just so good. And I think a lot of people are probably looking at that last clip and they're being like, I just love Zuka. Zuka's the best special in the game. So great. Not just dodge it or whatever people say. just be aware. But I mean, arcing it across there to get the Rainmaker when they were unfortunately stuck in that corner because 2 of their members had gone down prior is just so unfortunate. But it's a smart play. So I do applaud Elongated there, especially defeating Demolition after losing to them twice.
Yeah, defeating their nemesis, that was quite the feat from Elongated, and congratulations to them. That was quite a show, and congratulations to Demolition, because these games were close, these games were tough, and that was quite the finals, Grace.
Yeah, I mean, thank you everyone for joining us on this ride, and a huge congratulations to Elongated for winning the 3rd qualifier. I mean, it must feel really, really good. Like we said, that this is their first time in gold bracket, you mentioned. I mean, that's pretty huge.
Yeah, I believe both teams, it was their first time in gold, and here they are in finals, and Elongated takes it after being in silver bracket, both in qualifier 1 and 2, and that's a showing of how close the teams are in this circuit. Like, there is so much to watch, so many good games to watch, and Grace, that was just qualifier number 3. We have 1 more to go before the finals.
Indeed. We will be happy for all of you to join us there again. But I mean, this is the end for us. I mean, that was a really, really great set. Thank you for joining me tonight. Sorry, joining me. I guess it's not night. It's like afternoon. It depends. Anyways, thank you for joining me, Pat.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh my god. Half alike. But while this lovely little thing shows, Pat, where can the people find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at PatJ or Tom with underscores in between. And that's pretty much it. And Grace, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me oftentimes in the swim or sink help desk fighting for my life. But more normally, you can find me on Twitter at Tubnug and also on Blue Sky. If anyone has a Blue Sky, I do have that.
I have a Blue Sky too.
At Tubnug, yeah. But anyways.
Why are we whispering?
I don't know. I just some people don't know yet. Before we go, I do want to plug the lovely new Inkling one more time, Pat.
Oh, yes.
One more time. Run it back. We already gave you the spiel before, but basically, it's a lovely land in Boston, Massachusetts. Competitor badges are $20, 15 for students. If you're under 16, you gotta have an adult. Makes sense. Join their Discord for more info, though. You know, dsc.gg/NE Splatoon. Their Twitter is also at NE Splatoon. So check them out.
Yep. And that being said, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all in future IPL events.
You bet. Thanks for watching.